Okay. What's going on, family? Those of you who are already in the chat, peace and shalom. What's going on? Shout out to Dennis McMillan in the building, my brother, the Most High Child. Shaya Rala, aka Chris, in the building. What's going on, bro? And more. Janelle, Mrs. Yao over money, reckless animosity, and my sister, Miss Connor, in the building. What's going on, man? Shout out to Kevin Scott, Jetson Silencio. What's going on, bro? Thank y'all for joining in. All right. Make sure y'all share this link. Shout out to Dimitri Elder in the building. What's going on? Make sure you share this link. All right. We are live. All right. Just give me a second. We share this in a few more spots and touch on a couple of things. And then we're going to get into this. All right. Shout out to Yapag Kalaya, Kimberly M. Shalom, Sister E. What's going on? Truth Seeker. What's going on? All right, family, make sure y'all hit that bell notification and click all. So every time we go live, you will get an alert or a notification or email. All right, so that way you can tune in. Shout out to Sydney Woods in the building. Shalom. My brother Sydney, what's going on, man? Yehoshua Shamar, Hot Shot Trucking and Real Estate. Shalom. What's going on, family? What's going on? Give it a minute for y'all to jump in. I'm gonna go ahead and share this link a few more places. Make sure you share the link, hit that thumbs up button, family. If you're new here, hit subscribe. We about to go in. All right, let's see. All right, let me share. Let me share this link. All right. Okay. Let's see. Let's do it here. Okay. All right. All right, family. All right, shalom to Vault Park in the building. Big Main, Cameron Branch, what's going on? Shalom to Stacks, One Love, Yao over Money, Gartrell McKinney, what's going on? King David, the Lucid Fire. Lamont Hart said King Pseudo. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who you're referring to. But if it's me, let me know so I can add you to the panel and we can go over whatever grievances you got. It's not a problem. It's what we do over here. Shout out to Valerie Romo in the building. What's going on? I think that's everybody for now. If anybody pops up, you can say shalom. I'll give you a shout out. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button, family. All right. Make sure you share this video. And if you're brand new here, hit the subscribe button. All right. So I was trying to just get the word out. I think I got it out enough. Let's see. I think I got it out enough. I'm just giving y'all some time to get in. Let's see what else. All right, there we go. All right, shout out to the Black Av in the building. Ascent of Phoenix, Shabbat Shalom. Shalom to Truth Seeker, my brother O'Shea White in the building. King Azriel, Maccabees, J Battle 1 New York. What's going on? What's going on, family? What's going on? Make sure you share the video, hit that thumbs up, and hit subscribe. Okay, so we gonna go in tonight. Okay, now I'm a little tired, so I just want to keep that in mind, but I'm gonna push past it so we can have one heck of a show. All right, so you'll make sure you get your drinks, your popcorn ready as we dive deep into this and get it popping. All right, so to start off for you guys, the first thing that I want to share with y'all, just give me a second. All right, shout out to Corey Sneed in the building, Kendrick Black, Shalom, what's going on? Ascent of Phoenix, well, my preference is the old Syriac Sinaiticus palimpsest. That's my go-to Brit Hadashah that I use. And then I've been working on the reconstruction of the book of Matthew in the lecture that I did called Baptized in the Tradition of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In that actual lecture, I go over my methodology of reconstruction. And I've been working on that for some time, but it's going to take more time to get that complete. But I use, the O Syriac Sinaiticus palimpsest in regards to the book of Matthew. And then on top of that, the other sources that we have for the other variants for the book of Matthew, I utilize that as well. You know what I'm saying? So Lamont Hart said, Matea, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Shout out to Thomas Jackson. Lamont, I don't know what you're talking about, but if you're going to troll, I'm going to let them beat you up a little bit in the chat. And then if you're going to step up to the plate, then I'll give you the invite and you can get on this panel and get this work. I mean, it's light. However you want to do it, just let me know. And if you really get disrespectful with the trolling, then we're just going to ban you. All right. Yes, I'm familiar with Shem Tov's Matthew. It's a much later version of the book of Matthew. But I've seen some proponents make arguments that there are idioms and other expressions in it that date back to the 1st century CE, which is very intriguing to me. So I think what it is it's an amalgamation of various things. I think that it is sourced from maybe some earlier fragments of the book of Matthew. And I think somebody added to it to reconstruct it using the Greek manuscripts of Matthew and or maybe the Syriac or Eastern texts or manuscripts of Matthew to fill in the blanks. So that's what I think it looks like. All right. So Lamont, are you going to get on this panel and get this work? Let me know. If you're not and you're just going to troll, then we're just going to time you out, and you keep trolling, we're going to boot you. So it's however you want to do it. You feel me? So you're saying all of that in there. So let's go over here and let's play that game. All right. Shout out to my brother D Red in the building. What's going on? Quincy Claiborne, what's going on? Y'all have my permission to give him that work in the chat. It's light. All right. So let me go ahead and share this with y'all so we can get started. All right. We always got trolls in here. Trolls always come here. They waste their time at 11:40 p.m. on a Friday night to come in here and troll. So, I mean, it's an obsession sometimes that people have. It's really strange. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of them need to get help, but it was all good, man. Truth Seeker, I don't know. I don't really feel like doing that, to be honest with you. I've had my engagements with him already. I'd rather debate somebody else in that UA community than him. So, I mean, unless me and him have a discussion in the future about one, I really don't have a lot of interest in doing that. So, you know what I'm saying? Yes, Lynette. They always start early. You already know, man. They got to show their behinds, man. Yes, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? But when you invite them to the panel, some of them will come on, some of them don't. Seems like he's one of the ones that don't want to jump on the panel and get that work. So it's all good. Jerusalem Shiloh said, is it a sin to get a haircut? No, it's not a sin to get a haircut. If you think it is, let me know how you came to that conclusion. But if you're going to go to Leviticus chapter 19, I've addressed this on several live streams before. And I explained what that is. So you can go to the channel, just type it in, type the word haircut in the channel search, and you'll see the videos that I have on that where I pretty much answer that question. All right. Big man, you know how they do, man. You know how they do. So first thing I want to share with y'all is this right here. So I want to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed to Kingdom Harbinger Ministries. We hit the 13,000 subscribers milestone. It's saying April 11th, 2020 is when it'll be effective. So I want to thank everybody who is a subscriber, who shared the video, and other people subscribe. I want to give a special thank out to everybody who got us to this milestone. So what we're going to do in regards to this, I'm going to do a gift card giveaway because I didn't know it was going to happen this soon. If it happened sooner this week, I would have had the gift card already. But the next time I go live, I'll have a free gift card giveaway for you guys as a thank you for getting us to 13,000 subscribers. Make sure you guys share this channel with everybody. Share the videos with everybody. Let's get to 15,000. I'm trying to get to 15,000 by the end of May. All right. Trying to hit 15,000 by the end of May. And we could do it with your help. All right. And then by the end of the year, we're trying to get at least 13,000. We're trying to double it by the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? So with your help, we can get to these milestones, and the bigger milestones we get, the more awareness we get of this channel, the more awareness that we get, the more things we can do, the more support we can get. Right. So far, everybody who's been here on this channel, y'all been showing love. Y'all my day ones, even if you started yesterday, you feel what I'm saying? I appreciate all of y'all for getting us to this point. And there's much more to come, man. There's much more to come. I know we've been hit with this coronavirus pandemic this year, slowed us down a little bit, but just because we've been delayed doesn't mean we're going to be denied. You know what I'm saying? And this is something we got to understand. You know, being delayed does not mean you're being denied. All right. Being delayed means you're given an opportunity to reflect and reconsider some things and doing assessments before you move forward on your journey, right? It's the pit stop, right? So that's where we at right now. And I know it's a moment of reflection for me, getting some things together now that I have the time to do it, right? So I don't see, this as being a hindrance or anything in regards to this coronavirus crisis. I think it actually can work in our favor if you take advantage of it. You got to look on the bright side of everything and do your best. You know what I'm saying? Well, whatever tools you've been given, whatever circumstance, situation you're given, you're not defined by the circumstance or situation you're in. What defines you is your character in the midst of the storm. All right. That's what defines you. And that's what we need to look at. Right. That's the inward and not the outward. OK, so shout out to everybody saying, y'all been here with me, rocking with me. Thank you guys for that. I appreciate that. We also hit another milestone, which is 300 uploads. So as of today, we hit 300 uploads with my last video that I uploaded. We hit 300 uploads. OK, so I'm going to try to, I can't say double that. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to double that by the end of the year, but I'm gonna try to put out a lot more content. What I'm testing out with our Patreon subscribers is we want to do some suggestions. I'm gonna start working on doing 30-minute videos. I want to put some information in 30-minute bite-sized videos with the help of some video editors that I've now brought on and people who do video production. And upload it. So you guys can email me at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com or sign up for our Patreon and jump into our suggestions and let me know what videos do you want me to teach on. While this pandemic is going on, I'm gonna take advantage of this time and start pushing out as many 30-minute teaching videos as I can. This way you can just share those videos with people. You don't have to just share them in live streams. I mean, I got tons of other videos outside of live streams that are much shorter. But you don't have to just show them live streams. You can just show them these bite-sized videos so it's easy to consume. It's only going to be 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be based on your suggestions, right? I mean, I could pick things to talk about, But I want it to be for those of you who are watching. All right. Shout out to Israel Witness and Servant from Barbados. What's going on? What's going on? Young World 2K. You said you had a question. What's the biggest difference between an Old Testament Hebrew and a New Testament Hebrew? I mean, I don't even know if there's a such thing as a New Testament Hebrew, because I don't know no Hebrews that only subscribe to the New Testament. But I would say the difference is a person who's an Old Testament Hebrew doesn't subscribe to the New Testament. And if somebody's a New Testament Hebrew, they subscribe to both the Old Testament and the New Testament. And if you want to look at the theological congruency between their position and the overarching view of the text, then there's other doctrines that stem out of that, right? So, I mean, everybody is different, right? It's difficult to kind of categorize people. I mean, I try to do it to keep up with certain things, but everybody's different. So you'd have to like get certain people to have these discussions in order to fully get to that conclusion of, you know, who's who, right? So hopefully that begins to answer your question, right? Yeah, Mikhail Ben Yashara, 30 minutes. Yes, 30 minutes. All right, that's the goal. Okay. I have the timer on and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that, Kendrick Black. Terla L, shalom to you as well. And again, family, thank you for that. So next time we go live, I'm gonna do a gift card giveaway for you guys for getting us to the 13,000 subscriber mark, for sharing it, showing love. I want to give a shout out to Thomas Jackson for the donation. I truly appreciate that. You know, that goes a long way. So I thank you for that. King Azriel Maccabees, the last live stream I did, I touched on the full moon as the new moon. So go on to the last live stream on this channel and you'll see I did a small segment where I touched on that. All right. So go back on there and check on that. All right. Shout out to Gatherer of Nations in the building. What's going on? Kevin Scott. Oh, yeah, you already know. You see what it is. Michael Norwood. What's going on? All right, family. So that's the first thing I want to share with y'all. Arise in the building. I see you. The Gook. Shalom. Shalom. Chris Bay. Chris Bay, that's an interesting question, man. I did a lecture, not on that, but I put aside some time in a lecture to talk about that subject matter. But I plan on going there soon and taking some selfies and documenting a couple of things and bringing it back for you guys. Hopefully, I'll be able to get out unscathed. That's the goal. But I heard it's a beautiful place, man. I heard it's a beautiful place. So I'm going to go there, check it out. I'm going to get some selfies and document a couple of things while I'm there. When I come back, I'll share it with y'all. So hopefully I'll be able to get this done by the end of next year. All right. So I'm going to go head out to hell. I'm going to go to Gehenna, or the Valley of Hinnom, and bring you guys back some pictures and so forth. All right. If I see anybody else out there, I'm going to, take some pictures as well. You may know some of those people that may be there, that are traveling and visiting. But yeah, if anybody wants a postcard, we could probably send it from there as well, and get them notarized while we over there. You know what I'm saying? So that it's official, right? So probably get a notarized postcard, and just make sure you guys know that I was actually there. Because some people may not believe the pictures. So we're gonna see what we're gonna do. All right. Valley being a low place morally, socially. Or valley of this shadow of death. Valley of the shadow of death is figurative language, right? Hey, I might see Bill Gates might be there. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice place. If my family's with me, then we'll just, do a little picnic there on the grounds there. Typically not a lot of people there because people are dogmatic and they really are kind of spooky about that place. But, I've seen it, and it's definitely on my bucket list when I get there. So definitely going to go to hell and come back and let y'all know what my experience is. All right. So yeah, just keep me in prayer on that. All right. So that's the first thing I want to show. Shout out to my brother, Dimitri Elder. Thank you for the donation, my brother. I truly appreciate that. Family, if you guys want to give, you have the links in the description, or you could do it via super chat. Like you see the colored coded comments there. But let's move to the next thing real quick, because I want to get on with this show. All right, we want to get on with this show. Big main, yes, they were. All right, so let me show y'all the next thing real quick. All right, so the next thing we got over here Where is it at? Also, well, I'll talk on that in a second. But let me share this first. So this is the next thing we got over here. This is our COVID-19 quarantine support for civilian survivors. So far, family, we raised $2,603, okay, of our $20,000 goal. So shout out to everybody that donated, everybody that shared this link, so we can raise donations. We helped 12 families now. 12 families we helped. We got another 4 pending that needs assistance. So we're going to do our best. I recommended that they give us testimonials. Some people were shy. You know, some people thought it was too personal. They didn't want to really give their personal testimonies because they didn't want people to know their business. So some people wanted to stay confidential, and I respect that. The other individuals here, they were generous enough to leave us their testimonies. I want to give a shout out to a notable donor, Dante Fortson. All right. Dante Fortson also has a YouTube channel. You can check out his YouTube channel. He is going to be one of our regular donors. He said he wanted to partner with us. So he's putting in $250 a month. Okay. Until we reach our goal. So shout out to Dante Fortson for doing that, for his generous heart and wanting to give to help families during this crisis, during the struggle. So big shout out to him for doing that. If anybody has given, if you guys want to be honored as a notable donor, let me know, and we'll have a little breakout portion here as well for you as a notable donor. If you want to partner with us and give frequently. All right. So we appreciate that. Now, family, look, I'm not telling nobody, you know, some of us is going to get that check in the mail from the federal government. Some people are going to get the federal benefits, financial benefits on top of the state unemployment insurance. So some of us are going to be getting some monies that are coming in. Now, if you want to use those funds to donate to us, you can. But my thing is put it towards the things that you guys need. All right. Those are priorities. Whatever you have left, if you want to give it to invest, to get a return on in your investment for the things that we do, you definitely can do that. Okay. But again, I want to say thank you to everybody who has already donated. If you guys want to donate, I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat so you guys can do that. Okay, because again, you guys have brought us this far. All right, we raised a lot of money. We helped a lot of people who are awaiting assistance, that were able to get groceries, that was able to send funds and take care of loved ones that were hospitalized, etc. You know what I'm saying? You guys made it happen. Shout out to Mikhail Ben Ayashara for the donation. Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate that. Gather of Nations, the link is right there in the chat. My sister Lynette. Sis, I got your email. I didn't look at it yet, but I'm gonna check it out and I'll respond to it for you. Okay. The last email you sent. So thank you and Mikhail for the donation. Thank you guys for all the donations. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, family. And again, we'll be able to give these funds over to people that need it. I guess it's easier for some people to do it through here, but you guys, again, you can also do it through the GoFundMe. All right. The link is right there in the chat. All right. Now the next thing I want to show is our Patreon. Okay. And again, I want you guys to just know how we get down. When I say an ROI, your return on investment, this is what we do. So I want to show you guys some things real quick on here so you guys can take a look. All right. This is let me share this. Hold on. All right. So our Patreon is popping. If you guys are not signed up for our Patreon, you're missing everything. All right. We just had a giveaway drawing where we paid somebody's bill. So shout out to Chris Benya. You know, he was one of the people who submitted for our drawing, and he won the drawing. So we was able to pay his bill up to $200. And we're going to try to work on doing this monthly. All right. So this is the one we did for April. We're going to try to work on one for May, one for June, and etc. So this is what we're doing. You come in here, you invest with us, right? And we give back like this, right? How do we give back? We pay your bills. Find me somebody else in this community with a Patreon that's paying people's bills, man. You cannot find this nowhere else. I have not seen it. And I'm like, yo, people investing in Patreon, aside the other perks you're giving them, yo, pay bills, man. Pay their bills. You know what I'm saying? Give them free gifts and stuff. You know what I mean? Just give them stuff. They invested in you, invest back into them. You know what I'm saying? You got nothing to lose by doing that. And then also you get access to our book suggestions. So here's the latest book that we put up here on the page. Well, I could just show y'all this real quick. Let me bring it up so you can see it. And you'll see here, we do the book suggestions here, right? So in the book suggestions, we give you a little summary of the book, and we give you a link to my personal cloud folder so you can access all these books for free. Okay, you ain't got to pay a dime for it. Just by investing in our Patreon, you get access to all of these books that we have here. The last one we put up is the book called The Ancient Near East, History, Society, and Economy. I showed this book on the last live stream, but you can get access to it for free for signing up on our Patreon. All right. The one before that, we did the Psalms commentary, a great book, exposition on the book of Psalms. The one before that, we had the Living the Lunar Calendar. That's an excellent book that analyzes all the lunar calendars and gives you so much in-depth information on it. I mean, we got books on survival. We got books on biblical Hebrew. I mean, you name it, we got it out there, man. We give thanks to our supporters. We pay bills. We give you other book suggestions. There's just so much stuff that we have on here on Patreon. And then if you pledge one of the tiers, you get one of those benefits by request as well. So you have nothing to lose. I mean, we give back to those who give to us. You understand what I'm saying? So not only are we doing stuff to help the community, I mean, we're doing stuff to give back to you guys for you guys helping us out. So you get this huge access to my book library, all of these books here, just by pledging on our Patreon. Okay, you get access to these books. You ain't got to go to Amazon. You ain't got to buy these books. You get access to read them for free. And I'm load at least 2 or 3 every week. All right. So we have so many already available. You click on the link that's in this post, and then it'll take you to the folder, and all the books will be there for you to read for free. Okay. And even download if you want to keep them as well offline. It's up to you. All right. Like I said, you know, I'm just trying to find people that are doing this because my job is to be the catalyst, right, for change. If I see that we could be doing better in the community, instead of me complaining about it, I'm the change that I'm looking for. You be the example and let others follow. I don't mind if people complain, but after your complaint is done, what is your proposed solution? And if you cannot carry out the solution, then you give it to somebody else who you know that can do it, and you work with them to get it done. All right. We are in a crisis right now, whatever you want to call this. Even if people believe it's a plague, it's still affecting us and the people that we love. It's still affecting us. You know what I'm saying? We make the most out of the situation, but it's still affecting us. So the key thing is, what are we going to do in the interim? While we're waiting this thing out, what are you going to do? Right? You can't shackle me at home and prevent me from still doing work in the community. Right? So I thank the Most High for giving us technology so we can still communicate with each other. We can still help each other. Right? Even if we're not in the same physical location. So what I'm going to try to work on in about 2 weeks is doing the Passover and unleavened bread, Seder, my own personal Seder, which I'm going to reenact as a pre-exilic Seder, right here from the comfort of the internet, right? Because a lot of us can't congregate, right? Some of us want to keep this ancient pre-exilic Israelite sacerdotal menological model, which is a type of calendar. And some of us keep that, but we have no place to go and fellowship at. You understand what I'm saying? So we're going to have it virtually. All right. Now, this thing did affect my travel. So a lot of the chapters that I was working on setting up, I had to delay that. We was going to be in Houston, New York, Detroit, Chicago, Tampa. Tampa might still work. We'll see. Jacksonville, Memphis. I think I said New York already. LA. These are all of the different cities we were going to go to this year. But now with this pandemic, I don't know what's going to happen. Right. Orlando, we had people that sign up for Orlando. We onboarded some people. There's still some people from Orlando that need to be onboarded. Right. And again, because of this crisis, it's affected people financially, socially, mentally, physically, emotionally. Like, people are drained. They're being affected. And we have to be that hope. So what's going on is I spoke to Pastor Johnson, right? If you don't know who Pastor Johnson is, he's located out there in Hallandale Beach in Florida. And he invited me out to this panel discussion that had Benaya, that had Ron Dalton, that had Akweti Ama. And he invited me on the panel to speak. So I have that on this channel. You can go back and check it out. But Pastor Johnson had called me earlier today and put me on the line with a sister. I forgot the sister's name. Forgive me, sister. But what they're doing is they're doing a 30-minute words of encouragement for frontline responders, right? And they say, hey, Divine, what we do is, we do 30 minutes twice a week, Wednesday and Saturday. And what we're doing is we want to give words of encouragement to the frontline responders, the ones that's out there actually working to help with this entire coronavirus situation. And these people are drained, they're tired, they're weak. And we just want to provide an opportunity to give them hope, to give them strength, give them encouragement as they're going through this war. And I'm like, yo, cool, I'm with it. Pastor Johnson right there. Shout out to Pastor Johnson in the building. Pastor John, I was just talking about you. You show up. Look at that, right? That's called the summons. But Pastor Johnson, put me on to the sister. Pastor Johnson, please put the sister's name in there. I forgot her name because I had a lot that been on since then. But please put the sister's name in there. And I said, look, I'll do it. I'll try to do it tomorrow morning if I'm awake still. If not, then I'm gonna do it on Wednesday. And I think that we all need to do that. We need to have a point of contact for all the frontline responders. People hit me up every day. I have somebody hit me up who's a frontline responder, said, Divine, man, this is tough, man. This is brutal on this. I work in 12 hours, 13 hours round the clock, no breaks, putting myself right in the front line of being at risk for exposure. But if I don't do it, who's going to do it? And I said, you know what? That's bravery right there. That is how your bravery is measured in the midst of fear, right? There has to be that looming presence of fear and danger. That's the only way we can measure courage. And these people continue to persist, knowing the dangers. Not even them. I have people who still work in retail, that work in grocery stores, that work in pharmacy stores, and they also are putting themselves at risk. And they hit me up all the time. Hey, Divine, can you pray for me? Can you give me a word of encouragement? And I said, yes, I got you. And I said, if you need anything, holler at us. We're going to do what we can to help you. That's what we need to be doing. That conspiracy theory stuff, okay, cool. I could play that game with y'all too. But at the end of the day, real people, real lives, and real families are being afflicted by this situation. There's no excuse for us not to do something to help. And if you can't do it yourself, KHM can be here. You can do it vicariously through us. And that's why we exist. We exist here to restructure and restore culture so we can implement it into the community to become more close-knit and then shift to that autonomous state. Because if the principle of the KHM was to catch on in this Israelite community, nobody would be without during this crisis. Why? Because we will be a fully tied network of resources. So those of you who was out in Orlando, Florida, you got to see get insight with the PowerPoint presentation on how KHM gets down. Those of you who are Patreon subscribers, y'all got the first dibs on that video presentation from Orlando. The people who inquired about being members of KHM, y'all got access to that video. And then I said, look, let me just make the video public. Why? Because I'm transparent. I'm showing y'all what we're about. We're not holding back no cards. And we're letting you know this is how we operate. Okay? So if we can get more people to rock with KHM, it's designed for situations like this. People interpret it as plagues, as judgment, whatever you say it as. Are we a virus? Are we the portion that is not affected by what's going on the outside? Can we say that we are so autonomous that we are governing things amongst ourselves? We have an allocation of resources so everybody will be able to have something in this time of need. So much so that we don't need no checks from the government. Are we able to do that? That we're able to teach health and nutrition and virology and immunology through naturopathic eating, and then everybody helps to support naturopathic eating so we can turn into a fully fledged naturopathic PPO or HMO. So when people are in need health-wise, we can get you points of contact in your city to educate you on what's going on and what you can do to equip and empower yourself in the midst of it. This is what we want. We need these safe havens in every city. And this is what KHM is attempting to do, but we can't do it without your help. And a lot of y'all have been making this possible. And I thank y'all from the bottom of my heart from helping to do this. So a lot of times when these trolls jump in here and start talking, at the end of the day, I don't have to entertain no trolls. For what? What are they doing for anybody in the community? Nothing. When people always say, oh, Divine want to debate, but what are you doing? You taking away my time from my audience, right? Who really cares sincerely about this information, and for people that can really need help. So if you're going to take me away from my time, then I want to at least know that you're somebody that's actually doing something in the community. Because if you're not, then you're wasting my time. Shout out to my brother Jeremiah Judah, 7,000 in the building. What's going on? Jeremiah Judah in the building. Let me see if I missed anybody. JD Israel, what's going on? JD Israel. Chris Benya, my brother is right there. Chris Benya, he can testify. He was the one that submitted for our drawing for the bill paid in full, and he won it. He can testify. He's right there. He can tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? He got a bill paid just for pledging with us. Shout out to my brother Get Wise in the building. Oh, family, to everybody who's waiting on their shirts. We're going to work on shipping that for you guys next week. What I wanted to do because of the delays is I want to be able to give everybody a gift card in their package. So if y'all don't mind being patient, I want to put a gift card in everybody's package that's going out for the delay. Most of the delay was because of what's going on in regards to this coronavirus pandemic. But because of the delay, I want to give you guys a gift card. All right. So if you guys can just be patient with us till next week, let me get these packages loaded up with gift cards, and then I'll ship it out to you guys. All right. So we want to do that as a thank you for people who are supporting us, and definitely want to make sure you guys get something for your patients. All right. So thank you guys for working on, investing on us in regards to our charity t-shirt sales. I have one of them on right now. This is the I Am a Kingdom Harbinger shirt. We got these also for sale. If you guys are interested in it, email us kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. My brother Seth in the building. Shout out to my brother Seth in the building. My brother Seth, me and him had a discussion after the last live offline, and talked and worked through the calendar, and he created a great calendar. I know people have been asking about the KHM calendar. Well, the reason why it wasn't done is because one of the artists that was working on the calendar unfortunately wasn't able to finish. So because his artwork wasn't finished, we wasn't able to release the calendar in time. And because of this coronavirus thing, it delayed it even more, because we could at least got it out if there wasn't any issues due to coronavirus, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to work on a PDF calendar for you guys. We may not have all the artwork that I wanted in it, and we may not have all the overlays onto the artwork that I wanted to be there to pinpoint things out in the actual pictures themselves to bring you back into pre-Israelite times. But I'm working with my brother Seth and two other individuals who are graphic artists, and we're going to try to put something together for you guys at least before, well, I ain't gonna say at least, but it will definitely be before Shabuot. All right. So y'all bear with us. We're going to try to get that calendar out. If all goes well, then we'll have something great for y'all next year, right? But I want to at least get it out for Shabuot and for the fall feast, all right? So shout out to my brother Seth. Me and him had a discussion. I said, hey, Seth, I see you put this information out. Can you put this in more of a graphic form for me? He said, yeah, he did it. Had a nice little legend and the Hebraic dates. He did a great job. So I'm going to talk with him. We're going to tweak it some more after me and him get done to tweaking the template. Then I'm going to give it to a couple of graphic artists so they can add a little bit more to it. And we're going to put it out for you. We're going to have a PDF that you guys can download. And we're going to really have it for our Patreon subscribers. I'll display it on the video here, but as a benefit for people that pledge on Patreon, we want to get that PDF out to you guys for free. All right. So you guys can have the calendar, right? Because the physical calendar, we're going to sell that, but at least so you guys can get on board to the reckoning of time that we're doing here at KHM. I want to make sure that you guys have access to that. All right. Shout out to my brother Sean McGee in the building. All right. So family, I wanted to show y'all that. You saw the Patreon, you saw the GoFundMe. I want to show you guys one more thing, and then we're going to move on to this Good Friday thing and segue into our discussion with that NOI representative that hit me up that wanted to have a discussion. Yo, if y'all know me, I'll talk with anybody. You know what I'm saying? As evident from me being on Sonetta TV, Black News 102, Sonetta Studios, and as evident from this channel here. I mean, it doesn't matter what you believe, what you subscribe to. I'll have a conversation with you. I don't mind that, right? Some people say, Divine, man, you above that. No, I'm not above that. You know, I still enjoy conversation, right? I still enjoy that, right? I think that there's a benefit to that because people still learn from it, right? And it's an opportunity for me at the very least to plant a seed into the people that I'm talking to and or learn something, because I've learned something. All right. Jeremiah Judah. All right, cool. What you want me to do a presentation on? Let me know. Shout out to my brother Yarden in the building from New York. New York out here. Yahweh Stop, son of light. Shalom, my brother. What's going on? So Hebrew unity and truth. Yeah. So that's going to be, we're going to finish that hopefully next week or two. And that's going to be on our Patreon, but I'm going to have it displayed here for you guys to see it as well. The PDF will be available on Patreon. It'll be displayed here as well. And then I'm going to put it in print format and you guys can purchase it, right? But that probably won't be done until the end of the month. But I'm going to do my best to work towards that, okay? Shout out to Donnell Jones in the building. What's going on? So I want to show you guys this video real quick. It's a very short video. I want to show it to you guys real quick because we want to support the people in our community that have products that are beneficial to the community. So I want to go ahead and show you guys this. Just give me a second. All right. And here we go. All right. See, told you that was short. Shout out to my brother Jamil Jackson and his Truth of Yah board game. Israel, we have products. We have our own board games. This is the best time to purchase this board game because a lot of us are stay at home, shelter in place, and we need things to do, things that are constructive for the family. I have to break this open probably this upcoming week and play it with my family. But another brother had brought the board game in Orlando and we went through it, you know what I'm saying? And it's cool. I can't wait to bust it open. I really don't even want to open. I want to like get a separate one to open and play and keep this one here and shrink wrap. But this is it right here, family. All right. This is called The Truth of Yah. All right. Volume 1 board game. Renew Mind, Save Lives. By my brother Jamil Jackson. Okay. So if you guys are interested in getting this, I'm going to send you guys a link. The referral code is DPROSPECT, all capital letters, DPROSPECT. You'll see a link in the description once this video is over. Please go and support the brother. If you use my code DPROSPECT, you get 30% off the game. 30% off the game if you use my code DPROSPECT. And this is what we got to do. We got to support our own family. Right. So why would I be on here and show you guys like for my family? We have some other board games that we have bought while we were still here. We have this one here. This is one that I do with the kids, Octopus Shootout. Right. This was a very interesting game we have here. And then this other one here, this Soggy Doggy game here. This was really interesting. I played with the kids, but yeah, it just fell out the box because they broke the box. It's crazy. But anyway, but I'd rather you guys get this and support this, okay? If you are in a stay-at-home or shelter-in-place, please support your own, all right? The brother put so much time, effort into making this board game, marketing it, getting it in the hands of our people directly. This is what we need to support. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat, or my mod, Chris, drop the link in the chat. Use DPROSPECT, all right? That's capital D, prospect. I'll put that there. That's the code right there. If you want the link to the game, you get it. Here it is. All right, I'm going to post it for y'all in the chat. That's the link to the board game right there. Right above that, I'm gonna put it again. Okay, that right there is my referral code. If you use that when you purchase it, you will get 30% off the game. Okay, 30% off the game. And again, this is the best opportunity to buy it because a lot of us are already home. All right, so this right here, a lot of people said, man, you know, I'm uninspired at home, whatever. Hey, play the board game. The board game will inspire you to get back into the scriptures. All right. So again, the link is there. The referral code is there. I'm going to drop that also in the description. Once the video is over, please support your own family. All right. You have nothing to lose by getting this board game. All right. So if you guys are already buying board games for the family, especially now, like they said within, I think, the past 30 days, board game sales went up like 35, 40%. You know what I'm saying? Why those same sales from our community should go first here to people in our community that actually have created a board game. All right. Yes, SG Lewis, you do. You get 30% off if you use my referral code. If you don't use my referral code, you got to pay whatever the price is there. But if you use my referral code, you get an extra 30% off. All right. So, so shout out to everybody that is going to support the brother in advance. Again, your donations. Thank you for the donation, Pastor Johnson. I appreciate that. Again, y'all make sure you click on my brother, Pastor Johnson. Moray Pastor Johnson, click on his avatar, subscribe to his channel. All right, that's good peoples out there. Next time I go to Florida, I want to go see that brother, man. Good peoples right there, man. Showed a lot of love, man. So yeah, like I said, let's support our own family. All right. Thank you, my sister Lynette. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And yeah, if I'm given the opportunity to do so, whatever you guys want me to ask, I'll do it. Right. So whenever that opportunity presents itself, hopefully after all of this stuff blows over, that would be the next epoch, you know, the next zenith that we can hit in regards to actually bringing the bread home. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what it is, man. Aria, yes, but you get 30% off with my code. So you got nothing to lose. It's an investment. It's an investment. All right. Man, I thank you for that, my brother Mikhail Bena Yashara. I appreciate that, my brother, man. I love you guys, man. You guys are the real deal, man. Real deal. Shout out to Priscilla Sharp. Thank you, sis, for the $5 super sticker donation. I appreciate that. Mikhail, just email me. Right, just email me. Email is right there. Just email me, my brother. I appreciate that. Shout out to Kermi5298 for the donation. Thank you for that $10. We truly appreciate that. Thank you guys for giving tonight, man. You guys are the best, and we didn't even get knee deep into the show yet. That's what's up, man. I appreciate that, fam. I appreciate that. All right, so let's get it popping, right? Let me give y'all a return on your investment right now because y'all are really giving, and I appreciate that. All right. And shout out to the people who just donated to the GoFundMe and just sign up for Patreon, man. You guys don't play no games and support, man. No games. I would never trade y'all for any other chat group or channel anywhere, anything else, man. Facts on that. All right, facts. All right. Thank you for that, my sister Lynette. I appreciate that, sis, and I know that you'll get that done. All right. I know for sure, and I appreciate that. All right. All right, so the next thing I'm going to touch on real quick is very interesting because you guys know that I interface with these urban apologists a lot. And a lot of times it's, you know, to me, it's frustrating. But the reason why I do it is not for them. It's for the audience or the people that are watching, right? Whether that's on Facebook, Twitter. I don't really deal with them on Instagram, mostly on Facebook, YouTube, whatever the case may be. And a lot of times it can be frustrating. So this one urban apologist, I don't want to say her name, me and the sister, and cool sister, you know what I'm saying, outside of our sharp disagreements on things. But she put a post up in regards to subscribing to saying that Friday to Sunday is 3 days and 3 nights. Now, I don't know what world these people live on. I don't think it's the same world as us, but how do you get 3 days and 3 nights from Friday to Sunday? I have no clue how that's done. I have no clue. So her beef is when we get to I'll bring it up. John chapter 19. I was trying to put the sister on and tell the sister, look, you know, they if you understand what the Sahedrin was trying to do in regards to calculating their calendar in advance because of leap years you got to account for, right? If it's a lunar calendar for Adar 2, which you got to account for, which they would, you know, come together and they decide, hey, is it warm enough to start the calendar or should we wait? Should we add an extra month? If we do add Adar 2 before Nisan, these calculations were done by the Sanhedrin Council for a while. All right. Shout out to Fly After Realm for the donation. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, family, please email my sister slconnor75@gmail.com. slconnor75@gmail.com. All right. Please email the sister because, I mean, she's generous enough to start a GoFundMe to get my behind out to West Africa. All right. And get the work done. I appreciate that, sis. Thank you for that. Right. Donald Jones, yeah, I got that book, Christian Magic. Yo, there's really a book called Christian Magic. I showed it to y'all, right? Man, let me show it to y'all, man. I think I showed it to you already. It's funny that you say that when there's an actual book called Christian Magic. Yo, there's a book called Christian Magic. Hold on, let me bring it up. Let me bring it up. Let me bring it up. So y'all don't think that we're just making this stuff up. It's an actual book called Christian Magic, right? Let me show it to you on the screen. And I'm going to show you this book. This book is crazy, man. These Coptic Christians, man. Man, let me show you some of this stuff, man. Hold on. Man, you shouldn't have said that, man, because, you know, I got sources for days. All right, here we go. Y'all see this? Ancient Christian magic. Coptic texts of ritual power. All right? Ancient Christian magic. So what are some of these magic spells that we got in here? All right, let's take a look. Hold on. Wait, one of these things is missing. Hold on. Wow, it's missing 1 to 11. I don't know why that is. But anyway, they have spells for a lot of things. Look, this is one here, right? Spell for protection against headless powers. Okay. They have one here for spell for a person seeking vengeance. Invocation of divine power to bring success and good luck. A Gnostic fire baptism, a spell for ascending through the heavens. Yo, Christians, man, these Coptic Christians is something else, man. The Gospel of the Egyptians, the first stele of Seth from the Nag Hammadi Codex, book of ritual spells for medical problems they have. Another spell using legends about Horus Abimelech to bring sleep or sex, it says. I don't know what that's about. They have spells for relieving the pain of childbirth and stomach pain. They have here, what's the other crazy one that I've seen in here? Hold on. Spell for a cup of healing, amulet against snake bite, protective spells. Spell for well-being of a child, for protection against reptiles, against violent attacks. 3 sexual curses to leave a man impotent and protect a woman from sexual advances. That's real right there. A spell for a man to obtain a male lover. Wow. A spell to make a woman become pregnant. Does that work also for a virgin birth? I wonder if this spell can be used so we can prove if a virgin birth is actually possible. I think these Christian magicians was onto something. I don't know about these other ones here, but this one seems very interesting. Another erotic spell to attract the woman. Another erotic spell to attract the woman. Look at all these spells they had to attract women. It's crazy, man. Wow, look at this. This is crazy. Erotic spell of Cyprian of Antioch. Spell using a Horus legend for erotic purposes. Curses against perjurers. Curse of a mother against her son's female companion. You see that? They were not playing with these spells, man. Bone curse to bring the powers of darkness upon Aaron. Spell for a bone and corpse. Yo, this is real. This book is 403 pages, man. If y'all interested in this book, let me know. I'll get it to y'all, man. But again, this stuff like this is posted on our Patreon. You can get access to it. Let me stop. Let me keep going, man. Let me keep going. Nathan said, throw that book away. Somebody said they got a spell for making water into wine. I don't know, man. I didn't get to finish the book yet. Shout out to my brother Yana for the donation. I appreciate that, my brother. But yeah, man, this thing is serious, man. It's serious. JD, you crazy, man. You crazy. But yeah, it's serious, man. See, Christians don't know a lot of the history of Christianity, right? This was syncretism that was going on by the Coptics adopting Christianity, converting to Christianity. They intertwined their indigenous practice with Christianity. Christianity was just another vehicle for them to do their indigenous practices. It's the same thing, same way when we look at voodoo coming over here to the Americas, right? Santeria is a way for you to practice voodoo under the guise of Catholicism. All right. This stuff was going on frequently a lot. Christians don't want to address this stuff. But here we don't have no problem bringing it out. All right. So anyway, I guess there's a spell in there to convince people that Friday to Sunday is 3 days and 3 nights. I believe there might be a spell in there for that. I think those Coptics were responsible for putting that spell on all these Christians to think that you got 3 days and 3 nights from Friday to Sunday. I don't know how that's possible. I don't know. If there's a Christian out there, Nathan, you're a Christian, and maybe you can convince me that that's possible. I have no clue how that's possible. I don't know, right? Maybe what I'll do is probably do a short video over the weekend, since today is Good Friday, but I don't know what's so good about Friday. If they killed your Messiah on Friday, how does that good? Oh, because that's the day he took away my sins. Wait, hold on. The gospel doesn't stop there. He got to rise next, right? So how could Friday be good when they didn't even know he was going to rise? Watch this. They didn't even know he was going to rise. He told them on the low, look, mind you, it wasn't part of the gospel of the kingdom. People get mad at that. Nah, I wasn't part of the gospel of the kingdom. When he pulled on the side of the disciples and say, look, I'm about to put y'all into game right now. Look, I'm going to die. He's a martyr. The moment he said he's going to die, he keeps pursuing that course that he knows is going to lead to death. He becomes a martyr. He's telling them, I'm going to be martyred. I'm going to die. I'm going to be handed over to the priests, handed over to the Roman officials. They're going to do A, B, and C to me. I'm going to be crucified, but I'm going to be buried. But in 3 days, I'm going to rise again. And you see that they wept when the things that he said, they wept from it, or they didn't understand what he was saying. But he didn't tell them, yeah, go out and preach this part of the gospel to people. He didn't say that. He said, yo, I'm putting y'all onto game. Don't tell nobody. Why is he telling them don't tell nobody by something that is the crux of Christianity? He told them don't tell nobody. You know why? That's not part of the gospel of the kingdom. They was concerned after he died, resurrected. Yo, man, tell us when you're gonna do the kingdom. Whoa, Acts chapter 1. Whoa, fall back. Look, go be my witnesses in Jerusalem. Put that work in. Don't worry about when I'm coming back, or if I'm even coming back. Don't worry about that. Put that work in. Be my witnesses to bring the gospel of the kingdom to the lost sheep of Israel. And then guess what? Later on in that same chapter, they do a pre-exilic Israelite custom. They throw lots. They pray and they throw lots. Man, this is crazy. But anyway, I just want to know, what Coptic Christians put the spell on Christians today to believe that 3 days and 3 nights is from Friday to Sunday? I don't know how that's possible. There's Christians that stand on that. I've read the academic Christian work on that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What the heck is that? That makes no sense. But what happens is people's reckoning of time has been shifted and misaligned. So when I'm trying to educate the sister and say, sis, look, you obviously are not familiar with the Sanhedrin Council being responsible, being the 2 to 3 witnesses for saying, hey, this is when the season starts. This is when Nisan starts. Or in order to fix the calendar for Adar 2, they have to say, look, we got to wait another couple of days for it to get warmer, and then we're going to declare it. That's how they intercalate. But with the calendar that we do here, the pre-exilic calendar that we do here, there's no intercalation necessary. We only use the priestly count from Abib to Bull. When the 8th month Bull comes in, all the feast days are done. There's no need to count anymore. You just rely on the civil calendar, which is the Gregorian calendar we use today. That's it. Use your 6 signs, terrestrial signs, your sun, moon, stars, your celestial signs, sun, moon, stars, your terrestrial signs, which is your crops, your bird migration, mating, and even the jenning mating season. We look at the jenning too. This is all in scripture. And then also the weather, because in Israel, the rainy season marked the winter time. Once the rains pass, now you have the turn of the season. They use all these things to pinpoint when it was time to start the count. That simple. They began to count from day 1, month 1 of their year, which is Abib 1, and then they ended Bull 1. Done. 8th month of Bull, we done. We have Abib, we have Zeb, we have month 3, 4, 5, 6, Ethanim, Bull, we done counting. That's it. There's no need to count no more. We're done. And then when the turn of the season comes again after the rainy season is over, you see the birds migrated in. They're making their nest. They're mating, migrated in, mating, You're like, oh, wow, look at the crops. Oh, look at the barleys. We can pick the barley. The wheat is coming up too. Oh, man. Okay, that's cool. All right, we got that. All right, cool. Star constellation. Oh, okay. Because when the Most High was speaking to Job, can you pull these stars in their constellation? One of them being Ursa Minor. It's there. It's in the scripture. Pleiades, Orion. All this is in scripture because these stars has a season. It's interesting. Moed, that's your weekly gathering for the season. Turn of seasons when you gather, right? Oh, yeah, the star constellation is there. And from our traditional records, it's after the equinox. We do the count. Star constellation is aligned there. Okay, cool. We got the equinox. Okay, here, if you want to know, as far as the equilux and the equinox, when you get your equinox, you go outside, you put your sundial up. The Gano will be standing up here. You'll wait. So when the equinox comes, if you're in a tropical to fairly warm, temperate zone, then when the sun gets over 90 degrees, no shadow is cast, it's the equinox. So he's like, okay, from here, we're going to look at the further signs to confirm when to start the count. Purely empirical. You don't have to write anything down on paper. You got all the signs right there. You don't need absolute reckoning of time in order for you to have an empirical pre-Israelite calendar. You don't need that. You use purely nature. And for some people, it's, oh, no, we got to do the calculations, the mathematics, and all. But that's not in Torah. Torah did not prescribe any of that. It's not there. Where does it give you any mathematical formulas and calculations for intercalating? Where's that at in Torah? I don't see the word Nissan there either. Oh, man, that's deep. Nissan is not in Torah. First 5 books, the Chumash. No, it's not there. Oh, that's interesting. That's deep. Okay. All right. So anyway, so what I was trying to tell this is, I would say, look, sis, look. Okay, there's a high Sabbath, okay, Shabbat HaGadol, right? The Shabbat HaGadol is believed to have been day 10 of Abib or Nisan. That's when you get the lamb. For 3 days, you fatten that lamb up. And then on the 14th day, in the twilight hours, you slay that lamb. And then you eat the meal in the evening of the beginning of the day of unleavened bread. So you eat your bitter herbs, your unleavened bread, and your roasted lamb. There you go. So in pre-exilic times, Israelite pre-exilic times, what they would do during that time period is they didn't have a written Torah. Moses was getting instructions. He scribed some things down, 10 commandments on stone. Okay. But they didn't have a Torah. So what did the people do? Well, what they did for the first Passover, because he didn't give them no statute laws and commandments in Exodus 12. They didn't have the statute laws and commandments there. Okay. So what they would do is they would speak about different blessings that they knew, songs that they knew, and they would talk about the oral traditions of their patriarch forefathers, because it's being restored back to them because they were 400 years in a foreign land, okay, setting up shop, living in a foreign land. So things are being restored back to them. These are the things that they will be speaking about and talking about. They didn't have a written Torah. So today what we have is we have a Haftorah where we actually read the Torah, and we do Torah readings and so forth, but that's not what they did during Passover. It didn't exist. We have that tradition today, and there's nothing wrong with that. What I want to do is reenact during their times. So we're going to reenact a scene of a Passover in the wilderness after the Exodus. So the song of Miriam will be there, the song of Moshe will be there, the blessings of Aharon will be there, and the oral traditions about the patriarchs, we would know that. That's the stuff that we're going to discuss. When I do the virtual Passover session, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to keep things purely empirical. We're going to keep things purely observational. We're going to keep things purely off of oral tradition. Some of these things can be derived from the scriptures themselves and for things outside the scriptures. Extra biblical data that we can go and bring into the consensus so that way we can reconstruct something that is authentic. That's it. So this is something much different. And this is stuff that we need to engage in. Because when you talk to Christians, a lot of times they don't realize that a priestly calendar was overlaid on top of the Julian calendar. You see what Christians doing? They're using a Gregorian calendar. I'm like, no, historically, there was no Gregorian calendar. When you look at Pope Gregory and what he did to fix the calendar for the equinox and Easter, they wasn't dealing with that calendar. They had a form of that calendar, of that calendar. They had the Julian calendar, which predated the Gregorian calendar. Julian calendar was established by Julius Caesar. Christians not even talking about that. I said that's the calendar that they used. So how are you able to trace back that time period when Yeshua was crucified? Well, You have to look for empirical signs in the environment. See, one thing that I've learned in my studies of research, extra-biblical studies, is to learn how to determine how things were reckoned as far as time. And I brought this up with this article from this book. Okay. It's called Dating in the Archaeological World. How was relative dating done? How was syncretism done? So if I see a sign here and a sign here, and this person dated this one, this person didn't date it, but they both saw the same sign, because we're able to see the event in two different cultures, we're able to align things. It helps us in regards to looking at the strata of things that we find during excavations, and also line things up with events that we see in the scriptures. That's how that works. So when I see a Christian arguing about the Gregorian calendar, I'm like, yo, you know, they didn't have the Gregorian calendar then. They had the Julian calendar. So you already off. you already off. That's number one. Number two, we go to John chapter 19. They say, oh, preparation day is that Friday because it's the day before Sabbath. Okay, so they said preparation day is Friday. What I'm telling them is, look, the Shabbat Hagadol is the Sabbath before Pesach or Passover, okay? It was believed to be Nisan 10, which is when you get the lamb, you fatten up the lamb for 3 days, and then you crucify the lamb, right? Again, on Passover day at twilight, transitioning into the first day of unleavened bread, which begins in the evening. You have your meal in the evening, and then after that, that evening and next day is a Sabbath. It's a Sabbath where you don't work. It's called the festival Sabbath. This is why when you go back to the book of Exodus chapter 12, after the angel of death came and killed, they said the angel of death came and moved around midnight in the evening when they were having Passover. The blood was over the doorposts. They was having a meal in the evening. And then the next day, they realized all the firstborn was dead. And the commandment went to them and said, yo, y'all got to go. They didn't leave during the day because that was a day of rest. They started their journey during the twilight hour, transition into the evening. So if we're going to look at this and try to determine when Yeshua was crucified, you can do a case. If you're going to say, look, you know, hey, we're going to say Wednesday evening, right? Wednesday during the day, because, you know, the scriptures in regards to the New Testament talk about the different watches. They say, oh, he was killed around 3 p.m. He died around 3 p.m. And they buried him around 6 p.m. or maybe even a little later. They wanted to do it during the twilight hours before the evening because that was the day of rest. You couldn't do no work. So they wanted to get his body in the tomb before then. So people say, no, that preparation day, watch this, that preparation day was Friday. So I said, look, if the preparation day is Friday, how do you get 3 days and 3 nights? How was that? How do you get 3 days and 3 nights if the preparation day was Friday? Now, if the preparation day was referring to the preparation time period that consisted of when you are fattening up the lamb right before you slaughter it, because you're preparing everything. You're getting your bitter herbs, your hyssop, your wild lettuce or whatever. You're getting your unleavened bread, getting that ready because you're getting the yeast out. That's preparation, getting all the yeast out. And you're about to slaughter this lamb, get this meat from this lamb, and roast this lamb up and eat this lamb. That's the preparation that you do right before that evening when you got to actually eat the Passover. So if he was killed during that preparation time period, right before unleavened bread, right before, you know, we had the lamb being slain and the meal being prepared during the middle of the week, then you can get 3 days and 3 nights. Well, we have a resurrection sometime on Saturday. So by the time Sunday opens up, ain't nobody in the tomb. If we want to do that, we want to kind of like work that out for Christians. That's how we're going to render it. It cannot be on Friday. I just don't understand. That's a good question, sis. That's actually answered in some books. All right. My brother, and the Homo Wo Festival has the God Nangne peoples. My brother Akweti Ama, he actually has a video on that. All right. The Kingdom of Kings. Go check out the Kingdom of Kings, my brother Akweti Ama, and he actually touches on that. And then there's a book that I have that goes in detail about that. Right. So it's around that same time, sis. So if you want it, just email me and I'll get the book over to you. But like I said, I know you follow Akweti, sis. So he did a video on that. All right. Oh, he's right there. Look at him. I say his name and he appears. What's going on? I'm saying everybody's name and they just appear. How about I say Bill Gates, so he can show up in my chat and he can donate to us $100 million so we can get things popping. So how about everybody in the chat say Bill Gates? Let's see if he appears. Because I said Pastor Johnson, he showed up out of nowhere. I said Akweti Ama, he showed up out of nowhere. So let's say Bill Gates. Let's have him show up in here, or Jeff Bezos, and have him donate us $100 million. Man, look, it's that Coptic magic, man. That Coptic Christian magic, man. I think it might be a spell for invocations in there. I gotta test it out. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to Navia in the building. What's going on, sis? My brother Akweti Ama, please put the link for your channel so our family can go and patronize you as well. Dora Yahoo Bendora, what's going on, my brother? Correct. I agree. And this is how they fall short, because they argue things, and what Christian apologists do, or urban apologists, they do what's called moving the goalpost. Let me give you an example of what that is, because I counter this all the time, because in my discussion with the sister, she didn't provide one shred of evidence contrary to the statements that I made. She made an assertion that started off her post. I made a comment. She commented under my comment. We went back and forth. I gave at least, 4 pieces of evidence. One of the references was a 58-page article that goes into detail about it. She said, I ain't trying to read all that. Just give me the page that is on, and I'll just go to that page. I'm like, whoa. So you're not trying to read a source? It's only 58 pages. Do you read books? I read books all the time. 58 pages is nothing. I just showed you a book that's 403 pages. 58 pages is nothing. She didn't want to take the time to read the source. So I gave her something from the Shulchan Aruch, and I showed her where it says that the Shabbat HaGadol is the Sabbath before Passover. I gave that to her, and I told her it's the Sabbath before Passover. She's saying that what she was saying is that the high Sabbath is the weekly Sabbath. She's like, you can't tell me that high Sabbath is not the weekly Sabbath. I'm like, no, you don't understand what Shabbat HaGadol is, right? And then there's a festival Sabbath. So you have the Shabbat HaGadol here, which is the Saturday, Nisan 10 or Abib 10. Then you have your 4 days, going into the unleavened bread, which is the 15th day. That is your festival Sabbath. And then you continue on to your weekly Sabbath. Now, with the pre-exilic Israelite, I was saying sacerdotal menological model, which is sacerdotal means priestly, menological means the counting of months model, is a type of calendar. And with that, it's dynamic. So it can fall on any day. And what was happening was there was an issue, because what was happening with the Jews is that they had times where the Passover and the bread will fall on Friday, Saturday, or something like that. So what they were doing was, when the Sanhedrin Council was in the beginning of the year trying to make their calculations to calculate for, forward for the rest of the year, they were trying to do the calculations so that way Passover and unleavened bread will fall some way in the middle of the week before Friday and Saturday. They also did not want Yom Kippur to fall on a Saturday or Sabbath. So they made these things distinct. They did what they could so that way they can get a good chance of having Passover and unleavened bread happen during the week, right? And they were trying to do it so that way you have that Shabbat HaGadol, which is the Sabbath before the Passover. This is how you know, through the tradition and various fixed calendar calculations, that they were attempting to keep Passover and unleavened bread during the week, so you can have your 10th day Abib, which is the Sabbath, and then you can have your 14th day in the middle of the week, your 15th unleavened bread, and have it at least a day before that Friday going into Saturday. And when you read tons and tons of these article materials, and I gave her at least 4 or 5 sources, one of them she even read all of that. The Shulchan Aruch, she probably didn't even know what the heck that was, because half of that was in Hebrew. And she just didn't want to invest into the sources I gave her. She kept saying, no, show me where they manipulate the calendar. Well, if the Sanhedrin is responsible for observing and then making the call about when the year starts, that's a form of manipulation, because it's relative and it's not absolute. The moment you have to observe something to start a count is relative. It's based on empirical observation. Does she even know about the Sanhedrin councils and them doing that? And I realized she didn't provide no sources. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm just gonna have to fall back. Shout out to Ducey in the building. What's going on? I didn't see Bill Gates show up yet, so I guess I'm not doing this Coptic Christian magic right, but I'm gonna get it right one day. You'll see. All right, y'all see. JD said, I don't want Bill Gates' blood money. Hey, you ain't got to keep it for yourself. Take that money, launder it, and invest it into the community. Because in the streets, when you get blood money, you got to launder that. So you can launder his money. You can turn any investments he gives you into cryptocurrency and then take that cryptocurrency, do another currency exchange, and you launder the money right there. Done deal. So you can launder the money. Okay, let's not get into money laundering right now. All right. So anyway, I'm just saying there's a lot of confusion with that. If there's any Christians that's in there in the chat, you want to tell me how you get Friday to Sunday, I don't know. Last year, I actually did a session where I was talking to a brother where I kind of like educated him on a calendar. He was a Christian dude. You can go back and check that out. I was trying to, last year, trying to find some egg-laying rabbits. I still have not found that. I actually went to PetSmart and Petco, and they told me that they don't have those variants there. And they told me I could probably get it from one of those animal shelters, right? Or one of those places you go and you get animals because they don't have the egg-laying rabbit kind. And I was like, man, you sure you guys don't got it? Yo, true story. The video's up. Go back and check out the video I did. It's called Incognito Part 1. It's a series. I got to pick up on that series. But Incognito Part 1, you see, I went and asked them. I was like, hey, do you guys got any egg-laying rabbits? I walked into PetSmart and Petco because they're not far from me. And I asked them, do you have egg-laying rabbits? Because I need one for Easter. Yo, the white dude was like, no, I don't think we have that variant here, that species here. But you could probably get it from here. I'm like, what? And a sister caught on when I asked her. She was like, no, we ain't got that. That was hilarious, man. Yo, they was really trying to help me find out where I can get an egg-laying rabbit. And I found out they all those people were Christians. That goes to show you how deep this deception goes, man. Because they saying all of this, oh no, we just gonna celebrate Resurrection Sunday, and then they have a Easter egg hunt for the kids in the church. And I'm supposed to take you serious when you say 3 days, 3 nights is Friday to Sunday? Yeah, okay. All right, man. Make that make sense to me. All right. But yo, it's there. Scott Garrett Headley. Go back and check it out. You'll see. It's called Incognito Part 1. Looking for egg-laying rabbits because I couldn't find none. And they apparently thought they existed. This is crazy. I'm like, since when did rabbits lay eggs? And then I seen somebody put up a meme of a rabbit humping a chicken. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, maybe they're doing hybrid GMO type of rabbits. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I don't see what that has anything to do with Jesus, your Lord and Savior. I don't see anything had to do with your church. But if you can believe that Friday to Sunday is 3 days and 3 nights, I can see why you believe that rabbits can lay eggs. I mean, that's what it is. Kendrick Black said it the best. Tricks are for kids, man. Hey, it's an infantile way of thinking that they got to grow up out of. You know what I mean? So, Nathan, I hope you're not advocating for this. I know you're our go-to Christian in the chat. Hope you're not advocating for this. Nathan, don't you be advocating for this. All right? Easter's on Sunday. How many Christians in here is going to Easter on Sunday? Raise your hand. Because you know all those suits that y'all bought and those dresses and those nice fancy hats, you can't even wear them now. You know what? You probably can wear them in the house. I want an Easter service at home. I want to see this Easter service at home, man. All right? I know Christians are tight, man. They can't wear that Easter suit. And that's the only day of the year that most secular Christians go to church. I know they tight. They tight. They can't wear those Easter suits, man. They tight. I know if I was still a Christian, I'd be mad because, I have some fly Easter outfits. I'd be tight, man. I'd be tight. So, hey, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. You could probably still do that Easter egg hunt in the house. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you're probably going to do that for the kids. Don't lie. Y'all know you're going to do that for the kids. And then you're going to tell the kids, Good Friday is here. Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, he died on Friday, but he resurrected on Sunday. Man, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. But yeah, I'm just waiting on all of these videos to show up. You know what people are going to do? They're just going to show off their Easter suits and dresses. They're going to show them off. You're going to look fly sitting in your house thinking that Friday to Sunday is 3 days and 3 nights. Stop it, man. Stop it. Stop it. Let's stop doing this, man. We got to wake up. We got to wake up, man. We got to wake up, man. We got to wake up. Come on, man. Stop that. All right. Stop that. All right. So with that being said, family, I think I did enough with that. Unless there's a Christian in the chat that want to challenge this, let's move on. We're going to move on. We are hour and 19 minutes in. Hope you're enjoying the show. If you're enjoying the show, hit that thumbs up button, family. Hit that 1 if you're enjoying the show. Hit 1 if you're enjoying the show. Hit that thumbs up button. My brother Seth, we're still working on that calendar. Is it okay, Seth, if I show them what you worked on for us? Let me know if it's okay. And again, this is just preliminary. We're still making changes to it, but I just wanted to show it to y'all in case y'all are interested. I see y'all are enjoying the show. Seth, just give me the word. Let me know if it's okay to show it. I just want to preview it so you can get an idea of what we're working on, what it looks like. I think the brother did an excellent job on it, and I'm sure y'all appreciate it as well. Seth, just let me know if I got your permission to show it. Let me know. All right. Okay, I'll call you Scott. I'm sorry. I read out the full name that's there. No problem. Knowledge, truth in the building. What's going on? That's another brother that's on the front lines, man. So keep him in prayer, man. And that's his real name. That's his brother's real name, man. True story. He'll tell you. Yardinia Strong, what's going on, sis? My brother Pac Rosino, the biblical rumble room in the building. Look at that. I had 20 people just drop off when I started talking about wearing Easter suits in the house. Man, look at this, man. That's crazy. Y'all don't have to go nowhere. I'm just joking. I'm just messing with y'all. Come on. Just messing with y'all. I'm just messing with y'all. Just messing with y'all. Okay, I got you. Oh, you did it? Okay. All right. One more thing. Let me show it to y'all real quick, family. Hold on. Let me close this. Don't get mad. You can invite your Christians in here. They okay. I saw 20 of them just dropped off once I started talking about wearing those Easter suits in the house and being tight, calling them secular Christians, because this is the only day that they actually go to get to know Jesus. Is on Easter. I guess wearing the Easter suit is going to make you more presentable to Jesus. I don't know how this works, man. We keep the statutes, laws, and commandments 24/7, 365, and then some. So we ain't got to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we put on our garments, because we got businesses that we want people to patronize. That's why we wear our fancy garments. We have our fringes on, let you know that, look, we have this as a reminder. This is a cultural mandate to remember the statutes, laws, and commandments, right? We got our little stuff on because, you know, we are royalty. We know what that is. We're not just doing a secular thing on Mother's Day, on Easter Sunday, Good Friday. Guess what? Y'all home on Good Friday. Y'all ain't at church. Y'all at church? Who at church? Who at church right now? Who at church right now? Some of y'all church, you know what? 6 a.m. Easter Sunday, they're going to be up. They're going to be looking for any video they can find on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, so they can say, yo, I attended the service. Jesus is going to remember this, and he going to forgive me because he know what's in my heart. He loved me. Okay. All right. Look at that. Look, we ain't hitting 200 again. Christians, they ran away. Where y'all going? All I'm saying, just show me 3 days, 3 nights from Friday to Sunday. That's all. That's it. Find me a egg-laying rabbit. If you can find me an egg-laying rabbit, I will shut down my channel. Find it to me. I'll shut my channel down. I'm just asking for stuff that I've been taught all these years. You can't get mad at me. Okay. All right. And what I used to do on Friday nights, on Good Friday, we used to have a service in the evening, the 7 cries from the cross. How many of y'all remember that in Christianity? The 7 cries from the cross. The 7 cries from the cross. Y'all do a whole service on the 7 cries of the cross. Look, I'm not knocking y'all. I'm not making fun of y'all. I'm just saying. 7 cries from the cross. That was cool. I ain't gonna lie. When I was going to the church, I loved those platform services, man. It was interesting. You had 7 people preach a sermon in 20 minutes. It was awesome. I think some of them did 7-minute sermons. I went to one that did 15, 20 minutes each. It was interesting, man. 7 cries from the cross, man. I remember that. It's throwback. Nathan Watkins said, we are the church, Divine. What you mean we are the church? Nathan, where'd your Christian friends go? They dropped off once you start talking about those Easter suits. Nathan, are you going to wear that Easter suit? Let me know if you're going to put your Easter suit on, Nathan. All right? Let me know, because I'll go live this Sunday. If you're going to put your Easter suit on, we can have a discussion. How's that? Just keep it on all day. Keep your Easter suit on, and we'll go live. And I want you to get your shine on. All right? I want you to get your shine on, Nathan. He said, what denomination you was a part of? Well, the churches I was going to were non-denominational, but they had like a holiness, Pentecostal type of background, right? So those were the denominations I used to go to, but I don't know what that has to do with anything, because the last church that I was a part of, the pastor that was there was going into the Greek, going into Hebrew, going to church history, going into exegesis with us, teaching us hermeneutical principles, giving us classes and lessons. So that was outside of the scope of the denomination. All right. He says, okay, that tells it all. What does that have to do with you putting your Easter suit on so that way we can have a discussion on Sunday? Like, are you going to put the Easter suit on, Nathan? If you not, I'm going to find a Christian with their Easter suit on, and we're going to have this debate on Easter Sunday, man. All right? Because you ain't going to church, so you can. Oh, man, I'm back, family. I don't know. That was some Coptic Christian magic, man. Yo, my page just dropped, man. Y'all seen that? That's that Coptic Christian magic. I don't know who's doing this. Don't get mad because I'm talking about Easter. It's like every time I talk about this sensitive stuff, y'all try to shut me down, man. Stop playing, yo. Nathan, I see you using that Egyptian magic, man. Stop that. Stop that, Nathan. All right? Stop playing with me. All right? That's not funny. Now I'm scared. Yo, this is crazy, man. All right. Let me go ahead and show this off, man. I got to show this. I know the Isha's here. She's like, yo, I want you to show this. All right. I got you. Let me show. If I forget. All right. So look, y'all pay attention to the screen real quick. Right now, since we're talking about supporting our own, we have LOL Accessories and Boutique that has the Flatten the Curve fashion mask. I love that name. Let me show it to y'all real quick, man. Let me show it to y'all. We got some creative minds in this house right here. Hold on. Let me show it to y'all real quick. Hold on. Let me show it to y'all. Here we go. All right. I'm going to post the link in the chat so you guys have it. Here's the link in the chat right here. Please patronize our dear sister here. She took time to create these Flatten the Curve fashion masks for us. All right. She did everything right at home by herself. Okay. So if anybody is going out there, if you're a first responder, and you can get it with the N95 filter as well. Okay. Anybody that's a first responder, you want to support Israelite business, Black business, whatever you want to call it. There's your Flatten the Curve fashion mask, $8 to $10. It's extremely cheap. There's no excuse for you not to purchase one. Again, I'm going to put the link here in the chat. All right. There it is. Please let us support our own. All right, we have these readily available right now. You got one? We have these readily available right now for you guys to go and cop. Thank you. All right, this is it right here, so you can see it. And inside is where you add the filter. All right, so we got a couple of people in the medical field that's in the chat. And if you guys need these. Oh, okay. So she said for every sale we get, we're donating to that group that's out here, the one that we looked at. So there's several organizations out here that are asking people to donate face masks. So every time you purchase one from us, she's going to donate to one of these organizations. All right. So you have nothing to lose from investing into us. The people of the book says it was a respiratory therapist. Oh, I didn't even know that. Shout out to the people of the book in the building. Yeah, you need this. Holla at us. You need this. All right. Anybody that wants one of these, we have different colors as well, different designs. If you go on the site, you can see them. Let me go ahead and show it to y'all real quick. Here's the different styles right here. Let me zoom in so y'all can see.
There'll be more.
All right. And then we have other things by request as well. I guess if they want, like, if they want to send the fabric, you can make masks out of fabric. No,
I'm just gonna. I'll put up
just what you got. Okay.
As I get them.
So she says she's gonna add more colors as she gets them. This is what's available right now. So if you're interested in any one of those, I'm gonna post a link one more time in the chat. Just click on the link and you guys can place your order. All right. So let's support our own. All right. All right. So now with all that being said, it's 1 a.m. right now. We're an hour and 28 minutes in. No Christians step up to the plate, but Christians are dropping out of the live stream, and it's okay. All right. They're in their feelings a little bit. I know they probably wanted to troll and say something, but, you know, we're talking about Good Friday and Easter, man, got them stirred up. So we just had, look, more people are dropping. What's going on? What's wrong with these Christians, man? If it's not y'all trying to do that Coptic magic to shut down the broadcast, y'all just leaving out the live stream. It's okay. We're not going to hurt you over here. It's okay. We're just telling you the truth because we love you. Right? Have I become your enemy because I told you the truth? Y'all know that scripture, right? Okay. All right, let me see if my special guest is still available because I don't want him to go anywhere. I got his number, so I'm gonna call him if he don't respond to this. But let me see if he's here with us. Let me see if he's still here with us. Let me send him the invite link. Let's see. Let me see if he's still available. If not, then we're gonna move forward.
Somebody said I should put fringes on it. I was thinking about it.
All right. Oh. All right. So he saw the message. I gave him the link. So I'm gonna wait on him to click. And then I'm gonna go over the background of this discussion so that y'all are aware of it. I actually have a screenshot, so I could probably talk about that until this screenshot looks really bad. I think we can get through it. Let me share it. Hold on, let me share it. All right, so look, Christians, I'm gonna leave y'all alone for right now, okay? I'm gonna leave y'all alone for right now, okay? It's okay, Christians. Hey, if you want to wear those Easter suits in the house, hey, that's fine. If you want to convince yourself through Coptic Christian magic that 3 days and 3 nights is Friday to Sunday, that's cool. But it's okay. You guys can rap with us. It's okay. But let me go ahead and show you guys this real quick. Give me a second. All right. Now, it might not be that clear for y'all. Oh, it looks clearer looking on here. I'll go ahead and read it. But this brother named Mac Muhammad, he hit me up on March 27th. Okay. And this was some time ago. And what he said was, he said, brother, first, I'd like to thank you for your searching for the truth. However, there are some major discrepancies in your Israelite ideology, starting with your claim that Esau being the father of the Caucasian. Can you please explain to me how can what would be a freak birth of a white baby being a twin to the black baby give birth to a whole nation of white people if Esau was the first? And there's no punctuations in here, so I'm just work with it. If Esau was the first white man, then how could he produce another white child with a black woman? Since I know you can't answer that, let me tell you what I was taught, as it is the only thing that makes sense. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us of a grafting process that brought the Caucasian into existence. Just like the laboratory mice was made through genetic grafting, the scripture in Genesis that you're talking about is not to be understood literally. It's talking about how the womb of Rebecca, or the black woman, would be used to bring a new people on our planet over a 600-year period, 200 years to produce the brown race, 200 years to produce the yellow race, and 200 years to produce the Caucasian race. Wow. Now, I said, shalom, my brother. I appreciate the comment. I do not teach that doctrine, and I'm not sure where you got that info from. I do, however, disagree with the grafting of Yaqub to create the white man theory. If you would like, we can set up an amicable discussion on this subject matter and build like brothers. If you're interested, let me know. He says, yes, sir, no problem. But out of curiosity, what other method do you think they could have got here? So obviously, y'all know by watching this that this brother is not familiar with what I teach. If he was familiar with what I teach, he would not have left that. I don't know where he got that from. I have no clue. But he definitely wouldn't have approached me like that if he was familiar with my teaching. So I know he's not. He's probably not familiar of our research methodology that we use over here. So I don't even know if this is going to be good for the brother. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my Message to the Black Man by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm going to pull that book out because I got it. I'm going to pull that book out, and then I'm going to go into the videos where Farrakhan himself says that we the Jews. I'm going to go to Khalid Muhammad, who says that we also the black Jews. So we're gonna get that as a starting point. But if you continue to read down in this comment here, he says, shalom, brother. I guess you are not able to rebut the question that was asked to you a while back. I used to be an Israelite. He said he used to be an Israelite. How do you used to be an Israelite? But whatever. And I felt that the many discrepancies with the scriptures that you guys embrace as truth and scholarship. As your brother, I think in a spirit of the Christ, it should be addressed. If you have a show I can call or whatever forum you see fit for us to dialogue on such topics will be great. Just let me know. So much respect to the brother. He wants to have a dialogue. I don't think he's prepared for this discussion with me on this. I am thoroughly familiar with the Nation of Islam doctrine. I am thoroughly familiar with Islam itself. Y'all see I had a discussion with Ali Muhammad, freestyle that whole thing, and he brought a PowerPoint presentation, still gave him that work. That's my brother, but I gave him that work. Okay, we can get it in. I had a Muslim chime in like a couple months ago. You know what I'm saying? It's light work. Like I said, I do my best to try to be as well-rounded as I can, right? So that way, when I encounter people, I can have these type of dialogue. So I gave the brother the link. If he does not click it in another minute or two, I'm going to call him. But he's telling me that the womb of Rebecca is what was used. So we definitely got to deal with this. This is incredible. This is incredible. My first lecture that I did on Sonetta TV, I actually gave a proposition on the different races in 2014. This was 6 years ago. I doubt that he watched that, because if he did, he wouldn't have come at me this way. So he really is unequipped to have this discussion with me. I don't know how this is going to work, but okay. All right. So we're just waiting on him to click on the link. If he does not click on, if he doesn't answer my calls, I'm about to call him. Then what I'm going to do is just do an open panel. We could do a Q&A. Let me see what else. So we're really going to do an open panel discussion and just talk about anything, right? We'll freestyle. I really want somebody to teach me how Friday to Sunday is 3 days and 3 nights. I would love to understand that. We can go and exegete John chapter 19, verse 31 if you want. And sometimes they just use that John. But what about Matthew, Mark, and Luke? You got to get into those as well, because those also speak about that. But let's deal with it. As you can see, Lamont Hart, the dude that said I was pseudo, he is nowhere to be found right now. I opened up the invitation for him to join the panel, have a discussion, and he's ghost. Okay, this is typically how this goes. All right. So hey, I'm waiting on the brother. Let me see where he's at. I'm gonna send it to him again. I'm gonna call him. Hopefully it's not too late for him. Let's see. Let me call him, because he gave me his number. So, I'm gonna call him. There we go. Yeah, man. The one thing I will say about this channel, we interface with whoever, man. And the thing I got to say about a lot of these other leaders in this community, they won't take their time out to do that. They will not take their time out to do that, to talk with the average person. I don't have a problem with that, right? But most of these leaders, they won't take the time. They probably would have ignored all of this and kept it pushing. But I entertain it, right? Because now people that are in NOI, that approach us and want to know or have questions. See, if he said he used to be an Israelite, then he probably wasn't under the right teacher. Because if he was under the right teacher, he'd be fortified. He wouldn't be transitioning somewhere else. And again, I have nothing against Islam or Muslims at all. But it's when I'm not gonna say attack me. Sometimes they attack me. Sometimes they just try to ridicule me being an Israelite, and then they talk with me and then they disappear after I have a conversation with them. Because when they hear that you're Israelite, they already have a presupposition of what that is in their mind. And then I talk with them, I get surgical with them, and they out. But I just want to see how this is going to turn out. I really do, because he sounded very confident when he posted that, and he thought I was evading his question. So I'm waiting for him to respond. Let's see if he answers the call. Represent the Nation of Islam. All right. Let's see.
Shalom.
Shalom, my brother. You there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right. Is this Mac Muhammad, the one and only?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, man, this is great. I actually got somebody from the Nation of Islam here. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing fine by the grace of Allah.
Salam alaikum, my brother.
Alaikum salam, sir.
All right, cool. So, my brother, Mr. Mac Muhammad, right? you had left me a message on my public figure page, Divine Prospect, and you had said a couple of things which I shared with the audience because we're live right now, just so you know. I shared it with my audience, and I would love for you to elaborate on that since I have you here. I was trying to send you the link. I saw that you had seen it, but I was trying to send you the link so you can get on the panel and have a panel discussion. But I know you said you're not that good with computers and stuff, so you probably didn't know how to work that, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's okay. So so what I did was do the old school method. I said, hey, let me give my brother a call and let's have a discussion. So you hear my brother, please just share with the people the point you were trying to make, and let's go from there, if you don't mind, okay?
Yeah, sure, no problem. Well, first of all, I mean, I really, when you look at the concert community, as a whole, you know, we pretty much, it's like a big tribal, thing where everybody is saying, you don't have the truth, you don't have the truth, I have the truth. And, but we elude one of the, major questions is like, the people on this planet that cause the most havoc, we don't even, no one has, except the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, no one has ever said, how did these people get here? Now, you said you did some things some years back on the race. I like to hear that, how do you think they got here?
Okay. So you want me to answer that question for you first?
Yes.
Okay. So when we look at science, right, science is going to actually explain to us how these things occurred. And if we want to align science with the scriptures, there's ways that you can harmonize that. The first thing what we got to understand is that the Bible was not written to be a scientific or medical treatise, right? So the things that we're concerned with in our contemporary times is different from the concerns of the authors of the text, okay? So one of those things being our concept of race, okay? In the text, we see in Genesis chapter 10 that the nations were all split up and the nations settled in different places, okay? And these nations was birthed out of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, okay? And Genesis chapter 10 shows us where these various tribes settled, okay? And populated in different regions, okay? So in 2014, I actually did a lecture where I talked about a lot of this. And I brought up things such as genetic drift. I brought up things such as mutations in genetics, because there are alleles that code for different phenotypes that we see, whether that is skin pigmentation, whether that's phenotypes for the cranial shape, nose cavity, your nose shape, lips, etc. Right? So when we look at where these different individuals settled, according to what the text shares with us, because the text doesn't talk about distant China, it doesn't talk about India, it doesn't talk about the tip of South Africa, it doesn't talk about certain areas. It was only talking about the known world to the scribes and the authors of the text. Okay, so now when we have to use the text to determine today people who's called Caucasian, even that term Caucasian would be foreign to the people of the text. There's no word that they have that's equivalent to that term Caucasian. And that term there was used because a racist anthropologist discovered a skull in the Caucasus area of where Georgia is at. And he took that skull and compared it with a Mongoloid skull and a Negroid skull. And he was making differentiations through distinctions between those three cranial types. And from there, he says that these are the three primal races of mankind, and all of the races came from these three cranial skulls or types from these skulls that we've seen. So if we're going to look at it from a scriptural perspective, the text is giving you some kind of insight on where various tribes settled, where they came from, right? Who they were identified as, right? And then from there, over time, we have various migrations that's happened over time. And we had situations where mutations was happening so that people had adaptations to the environment. Okay. So these things happen over time, right? So if you want to talk about
adaptation, don't work like that, though.
You said adaptations don't work like that?
Adaptation doesn't work. like if you take an African from Nigeria, you put him in a cold climate, Alaska, Siberia, and he can have generations of people that live there. They're still going to be African.
You said they're still going to be African, or they still going to have African traits over 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years?
They're gonna still be African. They're still gonna have African traits, yes.
So after 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years, they're still gonna maintain African traits. If you have a Nigerian and you put them in the Caucasus Mountains and they live there in the Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Look at the Eskimos.
Mm-hmm.
Those were Indians.
They were Indians, which mean Native Americans, or you talking about the tribes that came from the Siberian area before they crossed over to Alaska?
Yeah, they were Indians. They were Indians that went over the Bering Sea and wound up over there out there in Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
And they still have the big nose, even though they're in the cold climate. They look the same as they were when they went over. So I don't buy the climatic. And this is genetic. It's just like any other thing that starts out. It's all. A white horse. A white horse is not is a horse that is grafted into that to be there. So that's why I said.
You said a white horse is grafted because you do a process called breeding. So in your DNA. Hold on. Okay, so that's probably what you mean by grafting, because grafting has a technical term, but when you say grafting, you're talking about breeding. That's what you mean when you say grafting? Okay.
Yeah, well, that's what that is. You take one germ inside of the black person. You have a black germ and you have a brown germ. You said germ? A brown germ. Germ, GERM? Yes.
Oh,
germ.
Okay. Uh-huh.
The black germ and the brown germ. So now what the process was that Yakub would kill off the black germ and he would marry another brown germ onto another brown germ, and he would keep completing that process till he get a yellow germ, and he kept on until he gets to the white, the final stage. That's the only way.
So
that makes sense.
Okay, so all right, so you're saying in a black person, there's a white germ, there's a yellow germ, there's a brown germ, and you're saying these germs were taken.
No, only two germs. Only two germs.
What's the two germs?
Right.
No. What are the
black
two germs? You said black and brown.
Right.
Okay, so how are these germs taken out of in that individual?
Because what happened is let's say you make what they do when they will, first of all, they will have a system that Yakub had a system of where he wouldn't marry the darker onto the darker. He will marry the darker on to a lighter. Because even if you can have two sons, one's going to be lighter than the other one. You even see that with Esau. We can even produce an albino. So what he did, he within the black germ, we have all the human families within us, within the black human being. So say that one more time. So how did the white man get here? Through it's called birth control.
Birth control. All right. So do you have the book How to Eat to Live by Elijah Muhammad?
Yes, How to Eat to Live.
Okay. And do you have the Message to the Black Man by Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you have publications that are made from his works called Yakub, the Father of Mankind? Do you have that work?
Yeah, but only one you need is the Message to the Black Man. It's right in there.
No, I know it's in there, but what Yakub, the Father of Mankind, does, it isolates that portion of those chapters so we can talk about this subject matter. Okay, so we're gonna analyze this. Yeah. So we're gonna analyze this so we can see for certain what you're saying, okay? And then we're going to put it through a process to see how it works, okay?
Okay.
All right. So in the Message of the Black Man, do you have the book in front of you right now?
Yes, I do. Hold on.
All right. So just tell me when you get it, just tell me what page and I'll pull it up. Yeah, let me share it on the screen so that everybody can follow along.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So what page are we starting at?
All right, hold on a second. Okay, page 103.
Page 103, you said?
Yeah.
What chapter is that? I'll make sure my digital book has the same thing. What chapter is that?
It's no, it's not a chapter. It's just page 103.
Well, I have chapter 25. If the civilized man failed to perform his duty, what must be done? There are chapters in that book. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you must don't have the original book.
No, I don't have the original book. No.
So that's why.
My dad had it. He has it. But I don't personally have it.
We don't even need this to do this discussion.
No. We do because this is a primary source for the theory. So we do need this as a primary source for the theory that we're talking about. This is the primary source. You believe that Honorable Elijah Muhammad is Allah in the flesh, right? So if he's the source and he put this book down, this will be a primary reference of the theory, correct?
Master Prophet Muhammad is Allah is in the person of Allah, yes, sir.
So what is Elijah Muhammad then?
He's the exalted Christ.
He's the exalted Christ.
One that he's the one that y'all believe is coming back in the chariots of Israel.
Okay, so because in the Nation of Islam, there's not a lot of unification on that. Some people do say that he is actually Allah in the flesh, right?
No, I've never heard someone say that.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll send you a couple of links to brothers who have said that, and maybe you can reach out for them and y'all can have a discussion on that, so there's more unification, right? So let's start off with these germs. You said there's a black germ and a brown germ in the black man. Right. So the black man was who? Yaqub was the black man?
The black man and the black woman, we have a black germ and the brown germ. The brown germ is the dormant, weaker germ. The brown is the dormant, weaker germ, you said? Yes, it's the weaker germ we have. And that's the germ. That's the germ that creates Satan. That's the germ that creates what, you said? That's the germ that Satan derives from, the brown germ. Oh, so Satan comes out of the brown germ. Yes, the one that like whenever your voice you hear where something you're supposed to do something right, that's the black germ. When something say, "Oh man, don't go there, don't do that," and it's something that's wrong, that's the brown germ. So the brown germ is the devil on my right shoulder, and on my left shoulder would be the good germ, right? The black germ. Right. It's like the yin and the yang. The Chinese, they use the yin and the yang. Okay. But what's inside of the human being is that. All right. So my lower self will be the brown germ, right? And my higher self will be the black germ, right? Right. Okay. Now, once you create, after 200 years of you marrying the lighter onto the lighter, killing the darker. Wait. So you said marrying the lighter onto the lighter. Where did the light come from? What was the hue of that original man and woman? What hue were they? Because what happens is that when you you take a dark skinned man, and then a lighter skin, you won't take another dark skinned woman. You imagine just like how people do today. They lighten their race up all the time. You see someone. That's why a lot of dark skin, they like a lighter skin. They want a lighter skinned woman. This is Yakub's law still being manifest today. You'll see a dark skinned guy. He wants a light skinned girl because he wants lighter skinned children. Or dark skinned woman wants a light skinned man so he can have a lighter skinned children. Then now they go. When they're young and they go and marry a light skinned brother, over years, that's how that happens.
So let's get back to the original man, okay? Because that's part of the NOI doctrine. The original man, what hue was he? What color was he? He was dark. Okay, so the original man was dark. He was black. Okay, now that's kind of relative because I mean we'd have to look at an image. You'd have to send me an image of somebody and say, look, this is the archetype of what the original man looks like. So let's say he was a dark skinned man, right? Like a sub-Saharan African or Sudanese, right? Very dark skin. So how did the brown germ come out of that dark skinned black man? He gave him and the woman gave birth. Him and the woman gave birth to a lighter skinned human. You're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so they gave birth to a lighter skinned human. Okay.
Two dark skins could give birth to an albino.
Cool. I have no argument there. So I'm saying, according to this original man theory, which I'm familiar with, I just want you to see if you have a slant to it or if you're holding strictly to what's being taught in NOI during the lifetime of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's why I said it's good to have a reference in front of us. So as you're speaking, you can point to the reference and follow the reference. But you can read from the book too if you want. You can read from the book and I can follow.
I can send you what I can do, I can send you a message to the black.
No. I got it. Just read from it, and I'll find out where you're at.
Okay. But I know this says chapters on it.
No, that's cool.
Me right
no, don't sweat it. Just read from it, and I'll find where you're at.
What's the title on it? Does it say the making of the devil?
I'm on knowledge of self. But you said the making of the devil. Okay, let's get to that. Hold on. All right. So I got the making of the devil here, and my book is page 195. All right. So I'm right here with you. Okay. So let's go.
Okay.
All right.
Let me skip it. Let me go up a little bit.
Okay.
That's too. Back in the beginning, it's too much reading. Hold on.
Okay, no problem.
We'll find exactly where. Okay. Okay, so this, I don't want to go back far. It's the, all right, let's see. Let's start right here.
So while you're reading, I wanna just I was looking for what I wanted to find. I want to say something to you real quick, okay? I want you to hear this.
What I want you to do is I want you to, if this didn't happen this way, which to me, scientifically, scripturally, any other kind of way you could think of it, there's no other way.
Okay.
That could have happened.
So check this out, right? In that chapter, the one that you just told me about, right? I was looking for something that I'm familiar with and I found it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, now the world must know how to distinguish the real devils from the non-devils, for there are thousands of our people throughout the world who can hardly be distinguished by color from the real devil. Listen to what he says here. There are certain climates which seem to change the white race into a red or brown color. Elijah Muhammad agrees with me in saying that climates do have an effect on changing or manipulate. Well, hold on. Let me. I'm reading to you right here where it says in the book. He's saying there are certain climates which seem to change the white race into a red or brown color, and where they mix freely with our own kind, their skin and eyes show a difference in color. Their eyes are brown and grayish blue.
Wow, no, you got the wrong book, bro.
I got the wrong book? Man.
Yes, sir, definitely.
This is definitely the wrong book. Hold on, let me go back and look in the front of it. It says, Messages to the Black Man in America by Elijah Muhammad, Messenger of Allah, copyright 1965. How do I have the wrong book? I don't understand.
You have the wrong book.
I have the wrong book? Man.
Yeah, definitely.
Man.
I know it when you got chapters in there.
Man. So I got the wrong book now. All right. Okay. So all right. So I'm still waiting for you to find what you're looking for, but
you probably got that one that they had one that was a fake one out there.
A fake one? That's what you said?
Yeah, someone did that. Essentially put out a
so what I just read to you is fake. You're saying this is a fake book that I got in front of me.
Do you remember Frederick Price when he was
Yes. Hold on.
Yeah,
hold on. This is not this person.
He would go on his congregation with the fake message to the black man and quoting out of it. And so brother Tony Muhammad, he had to go and expose that.
Okay, so if I have the fake message to a black man, because I'm gonna bring up the one that you actually have in your hand, since the one I was reading from is wrong.
I'll send you one, brother.
Oh yeah, okay, go ahead. You can go ahead and send me one. That's fine. Sure.
Yeah, but I mean, just show me. I mean, I'm saying that. All right, so you say he didn't come from Esau.
I don't teach that.
So now you want to go back to Japheth. Then how could even Japheth? How could he being an African, how can he produce
Japheth?
A white race?
You said Japheth was an African? That's what you said, my brother?
Noah, right?
Okay. You said so I don't think that there was no distinctions in regards to like continental type peoples. If we're looking at the theory that's proposed from the text in regards to these individuals coming from Noah, they didn't previously live in a quote unquote continent long enough to be called an African or Asian or anything else. They're
African.
Yeah,
I'm saying African just to let you know he was black.
Okay, so black in what sense? What hue was he? Was he Sudanese black, sub-Saharan black? Was he Khoisan black?
It don't matter. Well, he still wouldn't be able to produce a white.
So they can't produce white people? You just said that they can produce white people because white people came from black people, right?
I'm saying that the only way you can do it is through the birth control process or through the grafting process. That's the only reason you can do a whole nation of people. You can't do that.
You could do it over time, yeah. Yeah, if you have people that's of a lighter hue, like you said, and there's genetic drift with this isolation, and then after a time, they're not mingling in also with the major population.
All right. So you agree with me then? All right.
Well, I mean, you're saying this. You're teaching a controlled grafting experiment. I don't teach a controlled grafting experiment. I don't teach that. Okay, so I'm saying that's where we differ.
You don't have to word it that way, but that's exactly what happened.
Is that what NOI teaches? Is that what NOI teaches? Do they teach about a grafting experiment? Yes or no? By Yaqub?
Yes.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So if this is a controlled grafting experiment, what I'm simply saying to you is you're saying that somebody purposely created the white man through grafting. Bred out the white man through grafting. Okay. So this is what you're saying. So when that happened, where were these people at? Were they on the continent of Africa when this happened?
Well, at first what happened was they after they was because it started off with Yaqub was in the Holy Land.
Where's the Holy Land? Mecca?
And Holy Land is in Mecca.
Yeah, so that's what I said. So they're in Arabia. That's what you're saying, right?
Right.
Okay,
and
so but Yaqub wasn't an African then. Would he be considered an African?
In Mecca, yes.
Okay, so he was an African in Mecca. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, they all Africans. And what happened was that he was proselytizing and he was gaining great numbers.
Wait. So there was other people around besides Yaqub, you're saying?
Yes, he took 59,000 people with him on the island of Pelon.
So
the Bible is called Patmos.
So he took 60,000 people, you said, on the island of Patmos. Now,
right.
just so you know, so he traveled from Mecca to the island of Patmos. Do you know where the island of Patmos is?
Yes, I know that.
Okay, so is the island of Patmos
by the Aegean Sea? Yeah.
Okay, so he traveled from Mecca into the Mediterranean Sea to get to the island of Patmos. After he proselytized the 60,000, so these 60,000 people he proselytized to, were they all the same hue as him? Was they all the same color as him?
Yes, they all black.
So they all was black.
And what happened was, but he got doctors, nurses. He got
doctors, nurses, preachers. So what time period was this?
He got preachers, and he got a cremator.
Cremator.
And he had all of these people, and they all was in concert with his vision to create that. So what happened?
So wait. So hold on. I just want to say. So he brought people with various trades, 60,000 of them, to the island of Patmos from Mecca. And what time period was this?
This was like the 9,000 year. 9,000 years.
So 9,000 BCE?
Yes, before Christ, yeah.
Oh, okay. So Mecca in 9,000 BCE. So all these trades existed during that time period, you're saying?
It's actually like it was like 6,000 years ago.
6,000 years. So it's about 8,000 years ago. Okay. So 8,000 years ago, 6,000 BCE, we had people that was cremators, you said. They were nurses. What else you said they were? Doctors.
And he had ministers.
Ministers, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Did they leave any kind of writings behind, or any tools that have been excavated in Mecca or in the island of Patmos that gives a kind of a carbon footprint of these people existing?
Yeah, it didn't go. Basically, it's just letting you know that he had a law and a system. That he had that of birth control.
A law on birth control. Okay.
He would kill if two dark skins get together.
Two dark skins.
He would kill the
kill the
baby.
So he killed the baby of two. Wait.
The
So,
baby went to,
well, I'm sorry. I don't mean to
heaven.
cut you off, my brother. I'm just trying to follow you. So you said if there was an offspring of 2 black babies, he would kill the baby if it came out black from those 2 black people.
Yeah, he would kill the baby. He said it was not after it was pregnant, but he would say that the baby went to heaven. That's when that God started.
The baby went to
When
heaven.
you die, you go to heaven.
So he justified killing the baby
die.
by telling the parents, if you let me kill your child, the child will be in heaven.
Right.
Oh, okay, cool. So that was a bad dude, man. He was ruthless, man. He just killing babies, man. Was that the first? Is that when Margaret Sanger? Is that where she got like the abortion theory from? Did she get it from Yaqub?
Yeah, and
wow.
And you gotta realize these people,
they
do the same laws. The Yaqub's laws are still being manifested today.
Wow.
You know, because we're still living in his world.
Who gave him the law? Was it Allah? Was it an incorporeal being called Allah that gave him that law?
Say that again?
Was there a incorporeal being? Was there some kind of ontological entity that's supernatural that gave him that law? Where did he get that law from?
Well, he was predicted. See, we taught that we knew our history every 25,000 years.
Every 25,000 years. Wow. Okay.
Every 25,000 years, we renew our history.
Redo our history.
In the scientists they already predicted that he would come, and he would make a people to rule over us for 6,000 years.
Do you have a Quranic reference for that, or a biblical reference for that? Because I have both the Quran and the Bible up. Okay, where's your reference in the Quran? What surah, so I can pull it up?
The Quranic reference to that is where it says,
well, just give me the surah. The surah. I'll get it from the chapter. I can find it from the surah.
I don't have the surah.
Okay. If you don't have it off the dome, it's okay.
But you can Google it where he talks about where he's gonna make a ruler in the earth.
Make a ruler in the earth?
Yeah, and the angels say that we behold your high holiness. But are you telling me you're going to make a ruler in the earth that will be cause mischief and shedding of blood? And that's when Allah said, "I know what you know not," because Allah had it was a divine purpose. The Caucasian race is a big divine purpose in him making them, because he says that he will put us in he know that we will be deceived, that 400 years of slavery, he will put us through the furnace of affliction, and we will come out as pure gold. We will come out to be his people. So
all right, so let's
seeing all of this on the line.
So let me give the reference. Al-Baqarah says, and when the Lord said to the angels, I'm going to place a rule on the earth, they said, wilt thou place it in such as make mischief in it and shed blood? And we celebrate your praise and extol your holiness. He says, surely I know what you know not. And he taught Adam all the names, then presented them to the angels. He said, tell me the names of those if you are right. They said, glory be to thee. We have no knowledge but that which you have taught us. Surely you are the knowing, the wise. That's Al-Baqarah chapter 2, 30 to 32, right? So you're saying this ruling the earth here is Yaqub?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because
cool.
That's the Khalifa. The Khalifa is the one to take place of Allah, God.
In the earth, yeah. But just so you're saying this is prophesying Yaqub, you're saying. That's kind of a reach right there, but I'll follow you. Okay. Go ahead, my brother.
Right. So now this is all coming together now the world that we live in now, it's all, even us, because he made us into himself. Now, so that's why now it used to be a time when a certain heinous crime come up, you say, oh, you know, that had to be a white person. But now sometimes you can't be so sure, because they made us into them. You know what I'm saying? So
just so you know, so when we deal with the text, right, the Bible, when we deal with the Bible, when we read Genesis chapter 10, Genesis chapter 10 is showing you that there's an offspring for Ham, Shem, and Japheth, right? This is the culture doing a reconstruction of the history as it was passed down to them in order for them to teach things to subsequent generations, okay? So there's some people that believe it was literal, some people believe it was figurative, or whatever the case may be. But the text never says that people were divided based on skin color, okay? Because we know that initially humans who came out of Africa, right? We had color, okay? Now what that color is, nobody knows that. But that color had to be something that is equivalent to what we're seeing in Africa today from individuals that have haplogroups that have never exited out of Africa, okay? So if we were to look at those individuals to see, and then if they exited out of Africa, if we're going out of the reaching out of Africa model or the multi-region development models, two different models right now in science to determine where everybody comes from, okay? One is that from the early hominids, Homo sapien evolved from the early hominids, right? Would be their. Hold on, I'm giving you the science right now. No. I'm giving you the current consensus in science. Hold on.
Monkey, right?
No, that's not a monkey. So just because I'm giving you. Okay.
Do you believe that humans come from monkeys?
All right. So no, I don't believe that. And even Orthodox science doesn't teach that either. They teach they come from a common ancestor about 5 to 8 million years ago. What I'm simply saying to you is, according to the consensus in the scientific world, okay, you have the recent out of Africa model and the multi-region development model. One teaches that mankind or Homo sapien developed from hominids such as Homo heidelbergensis, evolved from that into the archaic Homo sapien, and then developed into Homo sapiens sapien within Africa, and then exited out of Africa and went and populated the rest of the world. That's one of the current, I would say that's the dominant theory. The other theory, the minor theory, is a multi-region theory, which means that hominids were all over the world, and they all simultaneously, maybe at the same time, maybe at different times, evolved into archaic Homo sapien, which then transitioned to Homo sapien sapien, okay, which we are today, classified in the taxonomic classification of science. Now, wait. Hold on. I'm telling you what the consensus is in science, and you can read any scientific journal and you will come to that conclusion. Now, my position, because you asked me for my position, so my position is simply this. My position is that there were hominids that were created, but then there was a difference when it came to Adam and Eve. This is where you have your behaviorally correct humans as opposed to your anatomically correct humans. So your anatomically correct humans are believed to be humans that evolved from hominids that now stand on their 2 feet and forage, etc. But then you have your behaviorally corrected humans where now consciousness is given to a distinct group. A distinct group has consciousness. This is what we see in all ancient literature. Now, does all of this align with the consensus of science today? No, but everybody has a position. And because I know the scientific position, I know how to juxtapose it against my position. So my position is when the Most High created man, which we see in Genesis chapter 1, and then now he forms Adam. Adam is the conscious, cognate form of man, okay, where he gives him dominion over everything. So those other primitive men that he had created, you know, when we say that Cain went and got a wife and Nod, where did she come from? Where did she come from? So there were either other hominids already there, primitive hominids that were already there, or that was one of his sisters, because the scripture says in Genesis chapter 5 that Adam had sons and daughters also, right?
That's white scholarship.
You're saying white scholarship. So white scholarship, if we read from the scripture, right, the actual text, right, we're talking about the Bible, right? If I go to the book of Genesis and I read from you where he says, let us make man in our own image after our own likeness. I know that NOI slept. Hold on.
That's the grafting.
Hold
that
on.
Was the grafting process.
Hold on.
That's the biblical scripture that lines up with.
I know the I know the NOI position, but the NOI position comes later after these manuscripts are already laid out. Okay. These manuscripts go back further than the Quran. The earliest Quranic manuscript we have is about the 8th century, right? 8th, 9th century AD. We don't have no Quran manuscripts that existed during the time of Muhammad. It doesn't exist. We don't have any of that. Okay. We have the Samarkand and the Topkapi. Those are the earliest Quranic manuscripts that we have. Okay. So if we want to go back and look at this history, because when you said that there's a history and that it changes every 25,000 years, there's no written record of it. If there's people walking around who are doctors and nurses,
That's what I'm trying to. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
That the only history you got, even the writings in Kemet, I'm saying those writings aren't so old.
I agree.
We don't have much history, so that's why I'm saying is that you have to realize that that's why God had to come.
So you believe that in faith, that every 25,000 years, you believe in faith that our history changed every 25,000 years. That's faith, right? You believe that in faith.
That's what?
That's your faith belief that after every 25,000 years, our history, you said, changed, right?
We make our history to equal the Earth's circumference. Yes. 25,000 years.
Wow. So
every 25,000 years starts a new cycle.
Okay. So if there are
actually walking into history, right? We walk in. So that's another reason why when people that's a good point. That's the reason why a lot of times you hear like Sarnetta and they always talking about how the Bible is plagiarized, right? They're saying the Bible is plagiarized. It's because what happened is that they are getting the same history that 25,000 years ago. We're walking into it, so it looks like it's being copied. But how else would we get the history? We had to get it from back there. It was in different languages, but it wound up in the form that we got right now. We speak English.
Okay, so if we're looking at you said 8,000 years ago, so we're looking at 6,000 BCE approximately for Yaqub in Mecca. So excavations.
It wasn't that long ago. 8,000. It was like 6,000 ago.
6,000. So we're going to 4,000 BCE. You're saying,
right? If you look at the Caucasian, I tell you what. Google the birth record of human beings. And it's going to come up around like 6,000 years old.
The birth record of human beings? Wait. From what source? Yeah. Science doesn't teach that. So what source am I getting this from?
It's going to be about 6,000 years. 6,000 years.
No. Right. So you're getting that from Bishop Erskine's model. So Bishop Erskine was the one that dated all the ages of the patriarchs and came up to this figure of the flood happening in 4004 and that Adam was created about 2,000 years before that. So this is pretty much where so that has nothing to, there's no, that's not science based, right? That's a theory in the realm of humanities.
That was their beginning. That was their genesis.
That was also white man came about in 6,000. So that's how you align Yaqub with the white man, because he grafted the white man on the island of Patmos.
Right.
Okay, gotcha. So typically when you see different specialized trades in a society, that society is basically literate, right? So if you have doctors, if you have nurses, if you have ministers, and if you have cremators, you're going to have literature. You're going to find literature, right? Because this is a highly developed society, okay? So they're going to have means of administration, right, to communicate, because typically when mankind, and we look at the foragers when they first started, the ones that would go for nuts and berries and whatever they can find, maybe freshly killed animals or whatever. When you're moving, you're not sedentary, right? You're not settled. So you're moving to and from, migrating until you're able to find the food that can sustain you. Over time, there comes domestication of animals that happens over time, which is thousands of years ago. And then after domestication of animals, then agriculture comes into the play, where you're able to settle down and have a sedentary society where you're settled. Now, once you have a settled society, now you have the emergence of certain specialized trades like nursing and doctors, and then you have cremators, and then you have ministers.
No, they was doing that back in the Holy Land. They had all of that back in the Holy Land, nurses and doctors. Back then.
In 4004 BCE, you're saying they had that?
Yeah.
In Mecca. Okay, so do you know any excavations that were done there that we can look at that actually show us that these highly...
This guy, Yaqub was a genetic scientist.
He was a genetic scientist. So where did he learn that from?
He graduated from all of the top universities.
Oh.
And before he was like 16 or 18, I forget. I think it was 18 years old. So he then went to all the schools of learning, and he was a bright guy. He was the God, and actually he's the God of this world.
Oh, so Yaqub right now. Yaqub is the bad guy. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that it was not that he was a bad guy, because he had a divine purpose to abort children, to kill children. The reason why the Caucasian was made was it's like when you look into a mirror, right? Mm-hmm. You need a mirror in order to see the fallacies of you, right? So the Caucasian, how else are you going to know how wicked you are on the inside if you don't have a mirror? So he took the evil that was inside of us and gave it physical expression, so that way we could see. So when we see like a person, they rich and they got all the money, but they don't want to share with the poor. And then when we don't want to share with people that's less fortunate than us, we start to see how we are acting like them. So we have a reference point, and we know that we're going down the wrong path. So it was to get all of the evil imperfections out of us. So he grafted the white man from the evil imperfections that were in us to remove it from us and give us a mirror of the white man to show how wicked we once were. Yeah, it's just like, all right, put it like this, just like your children. Mm-hmm. You have children, and you see them do something bad, and you get ready to reprimand them and really get on them. Then when you look back and you say, well, I used to do the same thing, so now that shit makes you you see the wickedness that you had from watching them, and they like our children. And the Caucasian is like, they're like children, like when they say honor your mother and father, you know, that's really, they're supposed to honor us. They're not really honoring us right now. So the thing is this, right? Obviously, he didn't do a good job, right? Because there's still people of color who are wicked, okay? And a lot of times this was evident pre-colonialism, right? So before we have any colonialism in Africa, there's oral traditions of people doing wrong. And we know that because myths are created that represents customs, ideas, concepts, practices in a society, okay? And if you look at most ancient African traditional systems, there's always an entity that is opposing whoever the chief deity is, okay? Now, it's not really seen the same way as Western philosophy posits it, but what I'm saying is, yes, but what I'm saying is, if the grafting was successful, then all the black people after that, they're still doing evil stuff. So how was all the evil removed in the person of? All right, so now, okay, this is what happens now. Okay, so now he will make a people, the Caucasian, to rule us for 6,000 years with hard-handed and in the fiery affliction, slavery, and all of that, and that is the to make us humble us to the point. Just like how in the same plight when you see same with Israel, they always go against what God tells them to do, and then Allah has to put another nation over them to put them through it so they can humble themselves
and serve the God. It's the same thing, and that's what we had. That was the whole purpose of putting them there.
Okay, so if we was to align this with the Bible, right? Give me some passages, some events in the Bible that aligns with Yaqub leaving from Mecca to go to the island of Patmos with 60,000 people. That's a large amount of people to be traveling from Mecca to an island of Patmos in Aegean Sea. What ship did they use? Did they build a ship and sail?
Yeah, they had ships. If he's
4,000 BCE. Okay.
This man was I mean, you got to realize a lot of that history, as far as is the science and the advancement that we were, is not like I said, we don't have that history. We didn't. I mean, today when you look at now we write more. People write books and all that, but books didn't come into play until like it's not a late invention. It's a late invention. I'm saying. Everything through Oracle.
Yeah, well, books came about. Codices came about during the Christian era, early Christian era, right? But prior to that, you had scrolls, right? You had pieces of papyri, vellum, and different things that things were written on. You had inscriptions that was written in stone, and you see that from cuneiform. You see that through hieroglyphics, etc., right? So my thing is this, right? If this knowledge was not written down, who received this revelation? Was it Farad Muhammad?
He Master Farad Muhammad. He studied from 42 years just to qualify to become God. His father, Alfonso, he spent some of the most expensive books and took them to school. At 6 years old, he already knew exactly what he was going to do. You know what I'm saying? And that he was going to bring this world down. That was his
So
and he was.
So wait. So if Farad Muhammad is Allah in the flesh, why did he have to learn for 42 years?
Because God is not a mystery. You have to quote.
I didn't say he was a mystery. I'm just asking, if he's God, then why did he have to learn?
Because God is a man, and God.
Okay.
When in the Quran where it says Allah is the best knower,
Mm-hmm.
he ain't just the best knower because he just was born the best. He had to qualify himself to be the best knower.
So, so man created the earth, right?
Yes.
Okay, so man created the earth, and so man is a causal agent for the earth being here today. And then after man created the earth, I mean, well, where did he come from? Where did that man that created the earth? Where did he come from?
He comes from Allah created himself.
Okay, so he's self-created. Okay, gotcha.
He created himself in triple darkness. And
okay.
He created himself and the earth at the same time, simultaneously. Created himself.
He created himself and the earth at the same time, and then he created the stars too, the sun, the moon, and the stars as well.
Then when he saw that he had to he made a second self, which he made a woman. That's when he made woman.
Okay.
That's why we call in the nation a woman. She's the second self of God.
How did he create her? How did he create her?
He saw within himself, and he made her.
So, but how did he do it? Did he speak her? Did he form her? How did she get here?
Yes, he formed her from the earth. He formed her from the earth.
Oh, so he formed her from the earth. Okay, gotcha. So, you
gotta realize, like,
yeah,
you know what is very hard to understand, because just think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that we've from 100 years from back, before it was planes, right? Everything that we've seen that was made was always an imitation of something that the original God made he made adamant a being. I'm saying adamant being, like a bird. So we look at the bird and then we make a plane to imitate the bird. So we can't fathom someone making because.
What about a nuclear bomb?
Yeah, that's nothing. And they got that from the because it wasn't in the supreme wisdom when the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was talking about the cracking of the atom, the splitting of the atom.
Okay.
And that's when they got that science. It wasn't long.
So
after
who's teaching the white man all this information?
Huh?
Who's teaching the white man all this information?
He's teaching the what?
Who's teaching the white man all of this information?
Well, yeah, it was Allah's purpose to give them so much information to rule up to this point.
So on that island of Patmos, the 60,000 people, the experiment he did, the grafting experiment, was to breed them until they produce lighter skinned peoples, right?
Right.
And then once they created lighter skinned peoples, what happened to those lighter skinned peoples?
So then what happened is after a period of time, they went back to the Holy Land.
The white people went to the Holy Land, you said?
Yeah, they went back to the Holy Land.
Cool.
And Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that in 6 months they had turned everything upside down. They started telling lies and causing us to fight and kill one another, the same way they do now.
Why is that not in the Quran?
What you mean that's not in the Quran?
What you're just saying about white people leaving from the island of Patmos and coming back to Mecca. Why is that not in the Quran?
Oh, because that wasn't even revealed. That wasn't revealed to everything wasn't revealed in the Quran. That was revealed to us over here.
Okay. So our source for this is Farah Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad, correct?
Right.
Okay, so they're the source for this. Okay, but when Farah Muhammad was learning those 42 years, he got that information from somewhere, right? Where did he get it from?
Yes, he studied for 42 years. He went to universities in Egypt, in Europe, and he came here in 1910, and he went to a lot of universities here in America.
Mm-hmm. So him being Allah in the
1930.
So him being Allah in the flesh, when we say Allah in the flesh, are we talking about like he's the embodiment of that original man that created the earth and created himself simultaneously? That's who Farah Muhammad was?
He has the same power that the original God had, yes.
He had the same power, you said?
Power over yes. All that you see going on, yes, he has that power. And actually, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad has that power.
That's interesting. I wonder. So did he exercise any of that power that he had, like to create the world and create himself and create the?
He's doing it. He's doing it now, because remember, every god that came into existence, they had a purpose. This God was to bring because the original God, although he's the greatest, but everything, it was imperfection.
Wait. Wait. You said even though the original God was the greatest, he still had imperfections.
Yeah, it was imperfection. Okay. If it wasn't imperfection, there wouldn't be no Satan.
There would be no Satan. But Satan didn't come from the original. He didn't come from the original God creator. He came from Yaqub doing his experiment on an island.
Right, but I'm talking about even before that. Even before Yaqub came into existence. Remember when it says when it says in the Bible, it says where the sons and wherever God is, Satan is there also. It's just like the duality. This universe is made in the dualities of negative and positive and negative. So Master Muhammad is going to bring everything into perfection. So that's when the Bible will say it's going to be a new earth, a new heaven, and then you won't have no Satan, no more Satan, and that's when you're going to have everything is going to be, that's the hereafter.
When is that going to happen?
Brother, in our lessons it said in God's own time.
In God's own time.
We hope and pray. We hope and pray for that day.
Okay. But that's not anytime soon, right? Anytime that you know of, right?
Well, it's happening now. You see how things are moving. Where you see how things are moving now. Not to be too elaborate on because the time that we're living in right now, but you see that. But yeah, I mean this world we're living in right now is this is Yaqub's world. I'm gonna send you a tape of the minister when he's speaking about this being Yaqub's world.
Sure, send that to me. I probably have it already, but if I don't and you send it, I'll have it. But yeah, send it my way. I've spent hours listening to old tapes of Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan Muhammad, right? I prefer Khalid Muhammad and his actual approach when he branched away from NOI than Farad Muhammad, Farrakhan today, but that's just my personal opinion, right? But one thing that Elijah Muhammad said and was repeated by Farrakhan was that we are the Black Jews. We are the Jews, right? And this is something that he has said in several lectures. A recent one in one of the Savior's Days sermons, he talked about Jews, and then he also referenced that who is the real Jew? He says, I don't know, right? He said there's people that call themselves Jews. He said, but are they really the same Jews as we see in the scriptures? So just to kind of cap this off, and we can always pick this up another time, my brother, is I just want to know what you said you used to be an Israelite. I don't know what you mean by that. Can you tell me what you meant by when you say you used to be an Israelite?
I was born, and then I was an Israelite for a period of time. And
what group was you in?
I didn't like the spirit. Like a lot of the brothers, they yelling and calling women.
But what group, my brother? What group or
not
what?
You. That's what you're.
No. I'm saying what group? You said you was an Israelite. What group were you in?
I used to go on Fifth Avenue.
Fifth Avenue. You talking about in New York?
Yeah, New York. Yeah.
Okay, Fifth Avenue. But what group were you with?
I don't remember the group. No.
Okay. So what year was this approximately? What year?
I think it was practically. Oh, this was like in the 90s.
90s. Okay. All right. So in the 90s, you was with an Israelite group, and you're saying that you didn't like their spirit because they were yelling too much.
Yeah, they yelling. That's not good,
Mm-hmm.
And even though they did have some truth that they was speaking, but they still didn't have the reality of God as far as even like if I was to ask you, like you still like you don't think that God is a man, right?
You said, do I think that God is a man? I mean, the Elohim. The Elohim is a very broad term. So it can consist of ethereal beings, or it can consist of people here on the earth. I'll give you an example. When we look at the king of Israel, he was considered a power here on the earth. So man can be considered a power, and then there's ethereal beings that exist that also have power.
Ethereal beings like what?
Ethereal beings. So I mean, any entity that we ourselves empirically cannot interface in, that have some form of dominion over this planet in some way, shape, or form, right? And this is something that's been taught by all ancient civilizations. This is like nothing new, but all ancient civilizations have taught this. So we want to look at the Sumerian culture, the Akkadian culture, the Hittite culture, the Egyptian culture, the Nubian culture. All of these ancient cultures. We go into the Yellow River in China. If we go to the Indus Valley in India, all ancient cultures taught this. So they taught that there are ethereal powers that have, even African traditional systems teach the same thing. The personification of the things in nature, that these things have powers. When you do a Ifa reading, you're inquiring about an entity that has power over you that you yourself cannot see. And you're inquiring of this entity for some kind of request that you're asking for. The same thing in Odinani, you know what I'm saying, in Igbo culture. I mean, any culture you see, there's always ethereal beings that have power over this realm. And then there are individuals here in this realm that have power as well. But their power has been designated by those ethereal powers. Because if not, like I'll give you an example. So in ancient times, let's say the Sumerian kings, right, or the Egyptian kings, how were they able to control people? How are they able to control people? Because they got the people to believe through the assistance of the priesthood to believe that they are the God here on earth. This is what the Nasut BT did in ancient Kemet. So they believe that they have been placed here, or they're the embodiment of some kind of ethereal power. That's the only way that people would follow them, because if not, you'd be like everybody else. And if you're like everybody else, then I ain't got to follow you. I ain't got to listen to you. I ain't got to work and do all of these administrative projects that you want me to do. And nah, I ain't got to do none of that. So
you still didn't answer my question. Do you think God is a man?
I just answered your question. I said that term God, if we're going to look at it in an antiquated term, meaning some entity that has power, it can be a man or it could be an ethereal entity.
Oh, well, I'm talking about, do you think the supreme being is a man?
No. I don't think that man is the causal agent for things that we see here on the earth. A physical man is not the causal agent for all of creation that we see right now. That is, I don't agree with that.
Okay, so all right. So if he's not, then who is?
That's what we try to find out through culture. Culture is designed to teach us to get to know.
Everything that you've seen is invented. Everything that you see invented, right? Was it a man that made it?
Yeah, it was a man that made it. Yeah, but then that man also has a beginning. Science teaches that, and also ancient cultures teach that.
But I'm saying it keeps going. It keeps going all the way back to it was a man that made the animals, the tigers and the lions.
So science does not teach that, and ancient cultures do not teach that. Find me one ancient culture, Near Eastern culture, or if you, like I said, if you want to go to the Indus Valley, you want to go to the Yellow River, find me one ancient culture that teaches.
Like I said, you only have history of 6,000 years. You don't have no history back further than that.
These cultures. Okay, let me give you an example, right? So we have the Turin's Kings list. Are you familiar with the Turin's Kings list?
No.
Okay. So the Turin's Kings list is designed to be a list to show the progeny of certain kings, right? So the purpose of the Kings list is to show the first rulers on the earth all the way to the current kings of the dynasty in which that was written. They have what's called pre-dynastic Heru god kings. Okay. And these individuals lived for thousands of years. They had the spirit kings that lived for thousands of years. So the reason why I'm saying this is because you're making it seem that once the literature started being written, that's when they said, okay, we're going to start telling our history. No, they have histories that they have written in the time of administration that goes back thousands of years. So you mentioned 25,000 years. That King's list goes beyond that. So they're recording history in ancient times that they themselves did not experience. And whether they said they get this information from Jehudi or Tehudi or Thoth, which is called in ancient Greek terms. And he was a divine scribe that gave man this knowledge. So when you
ancient Greek, he's a baby. Greek is a baby.
No. I said his Egyptian name, his Middle Egyptian name is Jehudi. The Greeks call him Thoth, but he pre-existed the Greeks. I'm saying in Egypt, he's called Tehuti, and he's mentioned before any Grecian civilization came on the planet. He is considered the celestial scribe and the intermediary between the deities that are unseen and mankind. He is the one that gave man the knowledge of these things. This is what's taught in ancient Kemet. Now, if we go to Sumeria, we have similar stories where you have an intermediary entity between the gods and the ethereal gods and man that then endows man with power, authority, etc. to rule on the earth. So man in himself did not create the things that we see. The earth was not created by a man. And the reason why we know that's because not only does science not teach that, no ancient culture teaches that. So the only way we get that information that you're quoting is from Master Farah Muhammad. He's the only one that's going to bring this type of knowledge, saying that man created himself.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad
you
said that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the reason why that all of the scholarship, I watch all of that, Stamera and all these guys with the scholarship, and the same books that they reading about the Hyksos and this and all of these different, they call them old ancient cultures, but it don't go back for a few thousand years.
That's ancient to me.
And it's all been tampered with by the Caucasian.
The Caucasian.
Yeah.
Okay. So the things that we see on the walls of Egypt, the things we see
translated.
So what if you learn the language and you translate it yourself? Is that still tampered by the white man?
No, but even if you learn the language, but it's like it's still not. If we want to, it's not going to get us all the way back 78 trillion years when God created the earth, when man created the earth.
So this wisdom was only endowed to Master Farah Muhammad. Nobody else in ancient civilizations had this same knowledge. He's the only one that was able to maintain this knowledge that was lost apparently from some source that we don't have in ancient writings. You're saying, right?
So that was given. That's only God. Only God had that knowledge. Yes.
And he is the embodiment of the original man that created the planet. You're saying.
Yes.
Okay. So let me kind of wrap this up, my brother. Only because the show is getting a little bit lengthy, and I'm okay with that. But I want to be mindful of the people that are watching, and I just want to hone in on something in particular, right? So you said that you was initially in the late 90s. You said you was with an Israelite group on 5th Avenue in Manhattan, right? And you was out there with them when they was yelling and screaming. And you said that you realized that they had half the truth, but they didn't really have the whole truth in regards to who God was, right? So I'm assuming that you met a brother from the Nation of Islam, right, who put you on to the knowledge, right, of Elijah Muhammad, and you read his works, and there you had an epiphany that, man, being an Israelite, I had no knowledge of this information. It was not revealed to me, right? And with that information that you had there, it propelled you in your understanding of who you are as God, as a black man, as the original man, right? And what your duty was on this planet in opposition to the white man who's the devil, right? So I understand that, and I get you, right? Because like I said, I'm thoroughly familiar with NOI doctrine. Sometimes I play stupid because I don't want to assume that everybody has the same understanding, right? And I play stupid just so I can learn from the person that's sharing with me, okay? And I just want to let you know, I have several associates that I'm extremely cool with who are in the Nation of Islam, right? And they share information like this with me all the time. I've been to the mosque several times, and I've learned a lot of this stuff, right? I don't own a physical copy of Message to the Black Man. I used to use my dad's, or I used to go to the mosque and read it.
I'm
right?
gonna send you one, brother.
Yeah. You can send it to me. I'm saying I have access to it. Like right now, I can read it. But what I'm saying is, I'm saying for myself, I don't have it because I would just go to the mosque, read and learn, or my dad, I used to live in New York. I would just use his copy. That's why I didn't have a copy, right? But the point I'm trying to make is this. It is my position that if you were to, instead of saying like that group that you was running with, if you were like under KHM and that's where you started, I highly doubt that you would join NOI. And I'm not saying that NOI is nothing good about NOI, because there is. I love organization of NOI. I love the protocols of respect and unity. The Minister Farrakhan, I love to hear him speak. And they produce Khalid Muhammad, who's also, I'm a fan of Khalid Muhammad as well. But I think that there are some things that are limited in NOI. Right. And some of those limiting things have prevented the NOI from being as great as it could be. Right. The Israelite movement in itself, in America is new. Right. Its heritage has been around since the middle to late 1800s, post Civil War. But it didn't fully develop into what it is today until maybe, the early 1900s going on to today. So it's new. Right. It's emerging. Things are still being formulated. What you learn from the brothers in the 90s is not really what some people are teaching today. Right. So let's say, for instance. Okay.
Like, even, let's say, I heard you earlier, you was talking about how y'all wear your ephahs, y'all wear your fringes and all of that.
Yeah.
Now, for every prophet that comes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every time, they bring their own dietary laws.
They do?
Right? They bring their own dress code.
Wait. You said every prophet that comes brings their own dietary laws and own dress codes?
Well, put it this way. Well, God wouldn't have you to dress the way, like how they dress like they back in the 1500s or the 4,000 years ago. He's not going to have you dressed like that. He's going to have you dressing, because the way they was dressing back then, when Moses gave out those commandments for them to dress like that, that was the fly stuff at that time. But it ain't the fly stuff today.
That's not true, because you have Bedouins. You have Bedouins that still.
You wouldn't want to wear what you wore.
Wait. Hold on, my brother. Hold on, my brother. If I had my own community, I would do that, right? But what I'm saying is this: you have Bedouins that exist today that still wear the same things that was worn 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago. You have people in third world countries. You have people in third world countries that still wear the same garments that they wore back then.
Yeah,
so
the Arabs do the same thing with Prophet Muhammad.
So
they wear the same they dye the beard the same color. That's what you call they read the Bible, Quran and the Bible in the wrong way. And y'all both making the same mistake, and they're still not 100% with that, because those same Arabs, kings and sheikhs or whatever, is driving a Bentley or Rolls Royce. You know what I'm saying? Then why would they drive around with a camel? Prophet Muhammad rode around with a camel.
There's people that still ride around with camels. I just mentioned Bedouins to you. There's people that still do that today.
No, but they don't. They may do it for sport and play. But I'm talking about the main vehicle.
We are in a different society. If I was born in the 1980s in a third world country in the so-called Middle East, I was a Bedouin, right? I would be wearing the same items in 2020 that they wore 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago, because of the environment that you live in is conducive to the environment. So some of the clothes that they wore during the times of the Iron Age period in the Levant, I wouldn't wear it today, because we're in different environments. There's different manufacturing processes for clothes, but there are certain principles, like don't mix certain items. So I can still wear cloths and still use the principles of clothing without dressing exactly how they dressed back then. So I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
So the text is very clear when it says don't mix two types of material, right? Just like it says don't crossbreed seeds or animals or whatever the case may be. So if I'm wearing linen, I can wear an all linen garment or all cotton garment. So that will be representative of the principle of dress that exceeds the actual garments themselves. It's the principle that lives on. So I can apply that same principle today. When it talks about the fringes with the border of blue and the purpose of it, I can still put fringes on my modern garments today and still keep the same principles because it's to remind me about the statute, laws, and commandments. The principles lives beyond time. They're timeless. So as long as I apply those principles, I can still.
I don't see you. You don't dress like the rest of the. You just normal. I'm talking about you go out there on 125th Street, and you think there was a rock band or something out there. You know what I'm saying? With the stores and the motorcycle gang or whatever.
I mean, that is their own cultural attire, right? And I don't knock it and say anything bad because they created. Watch this.
It's not that I'm saying nothing bad about it.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying that
it's a trend.
In my opinion, it's just a misinterpretation of the scripture. Because if you look at all of everything, if you ask if I ask you, would you want to wear a 70s outfit with bell bottoms and tight double knit? You ain't gonna want to wear that.
If I was a hippie, yes, I would. And I want to get back to my hippie roots, I would wear that. If I wanted to have the peace sign and I wanted to say revolution and I wanted to go get high and wear my hippie glasses with the shades that flip up, I would wear that. But that's not my swag, so I don't wear that.
All right, yeah.
So, but you know what I do? I encourage people in my community to create garments out of their own cultural disposition, so that way we are distinct. The key thing is kodesh, being set apart. So when people see me dress a particular way, whether it's those fringes, not mixing certain materials, so they'll say, wow, that's different because we're not doing that in a society like that. Why are these people dressing like that? So when you talk about Israelites on the corner, what I will say is, guess what? You remember that attire because they created a trend that makes them distinct and set apart. So if anything else you remember, you're going to remember how they dressed because that is cultural attire that they've crafted from their mindset of how are we to be distinct. So when I watch Nation of Islam and I see the brothers clean shaven and some of them still got their hairs permed or hairs cut and they're wearing the suits with the bow ties, I know, y'all Nation of Islam. The first thing comes to mind because, again, that's cultural attire that when people see it, it makes y'all stand apart. It makes y'all set apart. When I see you guys with the hats on, it makes you stand apart, set apart. So with Israelites, it's the same thing.
The only difference is that we can go in any setting, any circle. I can go and do a business deal with that suit on. Can they go and do a business deal? We got the we can
So I can wear. That's not true. I can wear my garments, which I've done, and I've done business deals with my garments on.
No, I'm talking about looking like on 125th Street. You can't do that.
Why not?
With them red.
Yeah. So this is what you do. Let me show you how you get it done. Right. So what you got to do is you got to find some way to raise capital. Okay. So if I wanted to dress like that, I wanted to raise capital. You know what I could do? I can create a business where I sell those type of garments to a niche that will buy them. So once I'm able to raise enough funds, and I want to get more capital in a business meeting, if it has to do with fashion, that attire is in alignment with my mission for my business. So I can wear that attire. So wait, my brother, hold on. I'm trying to show you how to get it done because you said you can wear a suit, a bow tie, and you can go in any setting. And I'm saying to you that if somebody is able to engineer a way to create a business to raise money so they have enough capital to sit at the table and make other business meetings, you can get it done. It can be done, my brother.
You're talking about if in fashion, like if you do a fashion. I'm talking about like.
Give me an idea for a business deal. Go ahead, because you know these groups you're talking about. They have a lot of capital. They raise a lot of capital. So their leaders can go in their garments and go and I'll give you an example. IUIC, Elder Nathaniel, right? IUIC has a lot of capital. They have a lot of members that pay their tithes or give their donations, and they have enough money so that they can wear their purple and gold shirts with the fringes on and make business deals. You know why? Because they have money. They've raised capital so they can go and make business deals. Because people are not going to care about what you dress. If they know that you have a business proposition that's going to make them money, they don't care less what you wear. You can wear those 70s clothes. They don't care. This is a person walking in with money. When you look at Bill Gates, that Negro don't look like he got money at all. He dresses however you want to dress. Listen to what I'm saying. This is the second richest man on the planet. Jeff Bezos the same way. First richest man on the planet, worth over $150 billion. We have Bill Gates, almost $100 billion. They don't dress like people that got money. They don't wear suits and ties, bow ties like y'all, but they out there making all of these business decisions because they have money. So it doesn't matter what you look like. It's how you move your capital, how you use it as leverage to get into the table to make decisions.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's not nothing is 100%, but certainly, you know, you have to be exceptional to pull that off, to wear one of those suits and go down there and do a business deal like
yeah, because you playing the game.
I'm talking about like 4,500 companies.
You're playing their game. That goes to show that you have no IP in order to create your own capital so you can play the game your way. And that's the problem with us. We always try to assimilate so we can play their game. But what I'm saying is that now in 2020, there are more multimillionaires than ever was in the history of mankind. And a lot of these people are making money through the internet, social media. So you can be a person on social media and make money through a niche that you've crafted. I'll give you an example of that. Mark Zuckerberg. Have you ever seen how this dude dressed? When he first started, this dude dressed. Wait. Listen, my brother, listen. What I'm trying to say is it's not all about how you dress. It's how you present yourself and what you have to offer. You have to have leverage. If you have no leverage, you got to play their game. If you have leverage, you don't have to play their game because guess what? They're going to come to you and say, yo, I see you on the social media. You making all this money, man. Can we sponsor you? Can we do this with you? Can you do this? So many people now that are able to create a business model so that way other people reach out to them and say, hey, can you sponsor this? Hey, I know 2 people who have 1 million subscriber channels that I'm cool with. I'm not saying we best friends, but they got, and guess what? They got like 20, 30, 40 different sponsors that come to them. And guess how they dress? Wherever they feel like it. Because most of the time they at home doing their videos. There's ways that you can come up with capital so you don't have to play the game they want to. The internet has changed the landscape of the economy. It's changed the game. So what I'm saying is when you're saying, oh, I can wear a suit and go on a Fortune 500 company. Well, if I was decided that, hey, look, I don't want to do that. What I'm going to do is use the internet. I'm going to create my own swag, my own platform, and I'm going to bring them to me. You can do that now. So I'd rather go to my own people who are creating garments from scratch than go to some tailor and get a suit just so I can fit in when I can stand out and be set apart. And I'm also putting that money back into my own community's hands. So what I'm saying, there's ways that you can navigate. And again, my brother, I'm not knocking the suit and bow tie. That's fine. I agree. Yes, you can go to a Fortune 500 company or somebody else and you can look presentable. But what other leverage do you have besides your looks? What game plan are you bringing to them? What business model are you giving to them that's going to make them to invest in you?
If you have the same leverage, you have with wearing one of those suits like on 125th Street.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it could be a lady. She said, "Oh, because some of them they look kind of scary." No, they say, "Oh, you scaring me." That's being funny.
I agree, but that's not a business meeting, though, right? That's just somebody on the street. I said that's not a business meeting. That's just somebody on the street that they're engaging. It's not like they made a call and say, "Hey, look, we want this venue because we want to do a Passover," right? And they say, "Hey, okay, we're gonna charge you $1,200," and they're like, "Okay, yeah, we'll give you $1,500, $300. You can keep it." They can come in there looking like whatever. They give a $300 tip to whoever that event planner was. They're going to make sure that everything works well. They don't care what they dress like. You brought money to the table. You got leverage. So if I'm going to wear my scary garments on a street corner, but I can use this to get enough brothers to join my organization, and then from their businesses, their jobs or whatever that they're pulling money in, now we have leverage. Now we can walk through the door anywhere with that money, with the capital that's raised to make business deals. Right. So what I'm saying is you can still get it done even if you look like that. It's all in what you're trying to accomplish. So like with me, with KHM, right? I want to encourage our community to create their own garments, to show their cultural expressions, because it sets them apart from everybody else in society. So we have things that we do, that we wear, that sets us apart from everybody else. With me, I don't really like, when I was young, my brother, and I don't know if you can attest it, but when I was young and I used to get money, I used to dress fly. Now I'm in my 30s, right? Late 30s. I don't care about that. I'll go get a shirt from Walmart or some jeans from Walmart. But as long as I got money saved in the bank, right? It don't matter. As long as my family's taken care of and fed, it don't matter. As long as I have a form of transportation, it doesn't matter. So that to me doesn't mean anything. What means something to me is if I go to somebody in my community and say, hey, can you make this garment for me? And they make that garment for me, that would make me feel like I can go and conquer anything. You know why? Because not only am I supporting a Black business, I'm also wearing attire that's unorthodox. And if I can go and impress somebody with that garment on, then I'm better than anybody that wears $1,000 Armani suit. They can't touch me.
You're right.
That's all I'm saying.
That's true. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%, brother. I do. I believe in Black empowerment and spending money with your own community and all of that. I mean, that's the teaching. That's what we push that supporting each other, you know.
Hold on, my brother. I want to say shout out to Yehuda Ben Yisrael for the donation. Thank you so much for that, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your donation. All right, so my brother, let's wrap it up. What I want to do is give you a few minutes to give your final words, because we can always follow up, my brother, right? And I thank you for reaching out to me. And just so you know, if you didn't already know, my platform here, I don't know if you only know me from Sonetta or if you've watched videos on my platform, but there's times where I'll welcome a discussion with other brothers and sisters in the community, despite what different theological differences we may have.
I'm gonna start watching you more, brother. I'm gonna start watching you all the time now.
Oh man, I'm honored to hear that, my brother. And if you have any videos or whatever, share with me. I would like to see you put in work in the community, because if you go on my channel, you'll see videos of me speaking at the mosque out here in Atlanta. I spoke at the mosque out here in Atlanta, and I've also done the street work with them out here, where they go right into the bluff. Well, we used to go into the bluff and go out there and spread the message of stop the violence, and then pull brothers and sisters aside and have discussions. I did that 2 times with them out here in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So I have connections with NOI out here in Atlanta. So what I'm simply saying is, despite me being an Israelite, I can still do the community thing with other brothers and sisters. Now, I see you as an Israelite. You see me as a Muslim, one that submits unto God, unto Allah, right? And the objective is, even though you may have your distinction, I have my distinction, we have one common goal, which is the upliftment of our people. And we can still come together and work together along that common denominator to make something happen in the community. So if you're going to say, look, I'm going out in the community because, hey, these are brothers on the corner, they just beat up a sister. We're going to go up there and show strength. Do you want to come with us? I'm like, hell yeah, let's go and do it. Because we still have a common denominator. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, my brother, I want to give you a few minutes, my brother, and close out with whatever you want to say. If you have any contact information.
I'm just going to say shalom, brother, and that I enjoyed the dialogue with you, and like you say, we all we got, and we need to figure out ways to unify, you know what I'm saying? Because if you look at the Caucasian man, we're taught, the most honorable Muhammad taught us that to study the Caucasian. He said that they work hard in a collective manner, and they don't make excuses, and told us to do the same. And they have all kinds of religions, I'm saying, but they still work together for one common cause. So we could do the same thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you 100% that, you know, like we have one common cause that we know that we all catching hell and that.
Yeah.
And right now we can change that, like you said, we can even pool our resources.
Facts.
We've had a restaurant out here in New York, and we had Christians, and we had all of them as investors, and we was able to raise up the money to get the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I'm all for that.
100%.
I'm all for that. And out here in Atlanta, they do the same thing. And when those things are being promoted, then I'm more than happy to assist with that. Right. So let me show you something real quick. Okay. Are you watching? Are you looking at the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep an eye on the screen real quick. Right. Let me show you something real quick. Okay. So this right here, right, is a video from that was recorded when I was out here at the NOI temple or mosque, excuse me.
Okay.
And what we was doing was a rally against black on black violence and police brutality.
Right. Right.
Hold on, you'll see. Just keep watching for 1 second.
Sure.
Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. If there's any committed brothers and sisters in here, I say hotep. Peace. Some of our RBG revolutionaries might be in here as well. So black power to y'all. Y'all thank my more brothers and sisters. So the donation, whether it's support, whether it's hands on. Yes? Yes. Yeah, okay. I want to make sure I'm speaking now. When I take this off, it's cool. It's through autonomy. What is autonomy? Somebody give me a definition of autonomy. Anybody? Control, self-sufficiency, what else? Self-governance. Autonomy is self-governance. There's two ways you can eradicate the two issues that we have today. I don't have a lot of time. First thing is black on black violence. The children who are growing up in our schools, a lot of them who are going to public schools. How many are homeschooling there? So I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you can watch. It's only 12 minutes, right? But this is.
Could you send it? Could you send it to me?
Yeah. You'll see. Like, look. Let me show you at the end. Hold on. Let me show you at the end, so you can just see.
I can't see it because I'm right now. On phone, so I can't look at the.
Okay. So can you see the screen right now?
I thought.
Can you see the screen?
No, I can't see because I'm I can't be on the phone and the YouTube.
Oh, okay, I got you. Well, when you get a chance, I'll send you the link through inbox, so I'll text it to you so you can watch it. But what I have on the screen right now is a picture. Yeah, what I have on the screen right now is a picture of me with some Moorish brothers and NOI brothers. We took pictures after that. Okay. We built, we talked, and we had a good time. And I've done that several times with them out here. So my thing was, that I'm saying is, in order for me to have this dialogue with you, I have to first have experience with NOI, right? Because if I don't have experience with NOI, then I may be dismissive of the things that you're saying. But I'm inclined to hear it because it's familiar to me. I've had these conversations before. I've read the material before. I've asked these questions. Questions was asking me. And at the end of the day, even after I was done talking, me and the other brothers was still cool. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, cool. So we had this dialogue. Hey, this is what we do in the community. You with it? Yeah, let's go do it. So we still had common denominators, even with some theological differences, right? And we were able to accomplish a goal, which is the upliftment of the black man in the community. Because if the black men and black women are uplifted in the position they need to be, then we can solve all the issues that we have. We have two different angles of accomplishing that, but that's ultimately the common goal. So this is me speaking at the mosque because we had this rally against black violence, black on black violence and police brutality a couple of years ago. And they asked me to come out and speak, and I went out and I spoke there. This is not the first time. I think I've been out there at least 3 times that I spoke. But this is one of the times that I was able to, they allowed me to record. You know what I'm saying? But I'll send you the link. You can check it out. And like I said, if I'm in New York, my brother, we can meet up and we can go get lunch and chat. If there's something that you got.
Because I go to Atlanta. My brother, he's in Atlanta now. And I got people in Atlanta too. So I'll go out there too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If I do, I'll definitely hit you up.
Yeah, it's definitely. So what I'm saying is this conversation is beyond just this platform. In real life, we're putting in work. You understand what I'm saying? So I respect that, and I respect you even reaching out to me because your objective was to uplift me as a black man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your intention. You're inquiring about things, you're asking questions because you sincerely want to make sure I'm on the right path. You know what I'm saying? So I can respect that. I can give you honor for that, and I can appreciate that. And I just want you to know that I'm doing the same thing. So at the end of the day, my brother, at the end of the day, my brother, like I said, I have no problem entertaining these conversations from whoever it is. I believe that everybody deserves a voice to be heard because we all can learn, right? I learned something on this call. We all can learn if we simply are not afraid to engage each other, not as enemies, but as brothers. I don't see you as my enemy. There's an oppressive force out there greater than us that is trying to destroy us, and that's not you. So as long as I have in my mind that you not that enemy, then it doesn't matter if we have a discussion, if we strongly disagree. At the end of the day, we need each other to survive, my brother. I can't do this without you. You can't do this without me. There's strength in numbers. You feel me? So the more of our people that can think on this common denominator level, the further we can go. And then we can have our little infighting disagreements. But outside, people need to see strength. And if you see on my screen, you see here, NOI, Moors, and me, right? That's strength. They're like, oh, they got different ideologies. The hell they all doing together? That is scary to the enemy. That's scary. When we are able to say, look, even though we have our differences, we can still work together and get things done in the community. That's terrifying. So as long as we can do that and take a stand, my brother, nobody can stop us. So I need you to help me. So I'm in New York and we're going to do something to change the community. I'm going to give you a call. I say, Mac, yo, we need you here, my brother. If I'm in New York, you need me. You come to Atlanta. Look, Divine, we have this going on. Can you come out to support? Yeah, I'm there. That's how we show love. And then from there, it goes beyond just ideological differences. It's like, yo, you family. You know what I'm saying? You was in the trenches with me. You know what I mean? So.
All right, brother. I appreciate it, brother.
Anytime, elder man. And I know you're my elder because you're older than me, right? So I also want to make sure I give you that degree of respect. So if you felt that at any point during this call I've disrespected you or I've overtalked you or insulted you, I apologize.
You're very respectful, brother. I appreciate it, brother.
Of course, my brother. Like I said, I respect you. I respect NOI. And because of that, and also you're an elder on top of that, you know, I want to make sure that I give you the same due diligence that would be given me. Sometimes I get passionate, you know what I'm saying? But it's not out of spite or anything like that. And like I said, my brother, we're going to keep building. You know, this to me, this is the start of a great friendship. And I just see some big things we're going to accomplish as a family. You feel what I'm saying? So.
Yes, sir.
All right. So.
All right, family. So
yeah, man.
Alone, brother. We will definitely keep in touch, brother.
Anytime, my brother. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, send me the link, and then and some way that I can send you the new message to the black man.
Okay, cool. I appreciate that, my brother.
Whatever. All right.
All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Peace. Walaikum salam, sir.
Man, they go that Christian magic again. Anyway, so that's it, family, for tonight. I was going to do the open panel. I apologize. I'm going to try to go live either Sunday or Monday and do the open panel because I want to give that to y'all. I'm going to end this live stream in a few minutes. I want to thank everybody for hanging with us this whole time. If you are just joining us, please hit the thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this session. Also, please, if you can, if you're new, hit the subscribe button. hit the little bell icon next to the subscribe button and click on all so you can get all of our notifications when we are live or when videos are uploaded. Also, family, we have various ways that you can support us. You can do it either via the super chat, which my good brothers and sisters have sacrificed the funds that they have that's coming out of their household, their families, and they're invested in this ministry during an economic crisis. This is why I love the people that support KHM, right? And they know that by giving is going to help somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody that is here up at 2:56 a.m. in this chat, that's watching this live, that's tuning in. A lot of y'all, I've seen the comment that you made with me and a brother, but the point I want people to see is even with the ideological differences, I was able to settle the call as brothers. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Because even in my own family, I got brother, sister, family members that I disagree with all the time, but I still love them. And if they need me, I'll be there for them. So it goes deeper than just the things that make us distinct. As long as they're not trying to get me to compromise my ethics, we cool. You understand what I'm saying? That brother was not trying to compromise my ethics. He was inquiring about my position because of his background on the Israelite doctrine. Yes, you see what happened there. So I gave him an opportunity to put forth his grievance because he made a whole post on my public page about it. And y'all go to Facebook, look up DivineProspect, hit the like and follow. All right, public page on Facebook. And at the end of the day, I want to tell the brother, look, brother, even though we have ideological differences, you're not my enemy. If I go to New York, that's one additional person that I can turn to if I need help and say, brother, I need you. I'm one additional person. If he comes out here and say he needs help, I got you. Right? You're my Muslim brother from the Nation of Islam. I'm your Israelite brother from KHM. But at the end of the day, we're fixing the community. And in order to first exemplify what we can externally do internally amongst each other, we need to know how to walk as brothers. So you can keep your ideological position. I'm going to keep mine because I'm not going to compromise mine. You're not going to compromise yours. And we can talk because through differences, there's learning opportunities, right? But at the end of the day, once those conversations end and we walk out into the real world, we got a community that needs to be fixed, that's broken. You're doing it through your means. I'm doing it through my means. And my thing is, per the Most High's will, the seeds that I've planted will be watered, and it's up to him to deal with you on that. And if you believe in Allah and it's Allah's will for me to convert, then it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I am assured in my position. And this is why I said a lot of people that have left our community was because of the teachers that they had or the people that they were around. If they were authentic and genuine, not saying that they're not, because, people have disagreements or whatever, but if they was getting real solid teaching, they would be flat-footed and they would be anchored in. And it'd be like when you get approached with this information, because I'm sure when he was an Israelite, he wasn't getting approached about NOI stuff. There's people, Israelites, that get approached with Kemetic stuff. They get approached with atheist stuff, and they're not prepared to deal with those conversations. Their leaders are not interfacing with other leaders from those communities. So now what happens is once you hear something that's different and you feel that your leaders are withholding information from you or don't have the whole truth, now you're going to go somewhere else. That's why when I teach here, I teach interdisciplinary. Interdisciplinary means you look at different disciplines and you fuse them together so that way you can enhance your worldview. So no matter what comes your way, you know how to address it. Sometimes you got to play dumb so you can learn, right? So I had to play dumb because I'm not going to say, well, NOI teaches this and you're saying this. It's right here, but you're saying this. This brother told me this. No, I say, look, you teach me. Tell me what your position is. Shout out to Virtue in the building. Thank you so much. My brother all the way from Canada for the donation. I appreciate that. Deacon is crazy. Deacon, that's how we do over here, man. You know that. You know that, Deacon. Sometimes your bills can be long too when y'all have your debates. I'll be watching them. Shout out to Sakari in the building. But at the end of the day, like I said, when the streets need that work, we're going to form together and get that done. And then go off in our own tribes and come together when we need to fight a war. It's that simple. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what it is at the end of the day. So I seen that he had a lot of misconceptions because he was not thoroughly anchored in what he had previously. And Nation of Islam fit the bill for what he was looking for. And that's why he ended up the way that he is. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm just at the end of the day, when you inquire about me, you're going to see I'm strong in what it is I deliver. We're not delivering no soft packages over here. And that's just the way it is. We strong over here. And I want people to understand that. You understand? I touch on everything like, hey, what's this knowledge? What's that knowledge? What's this information? What's this? Even things that oppose my position. Let me learn this. Let me learn that. We touch everything. That's what we do. Because you never know what you're going to encounter. And a lot of times, human beings are extremely intricately or intrinsically curious. And we want to know new things. We want to discover new things. And a lot of times when we see the statute, laws, commandments, we see them sometimes as no. That's not what it is. These are safety parameters to protect you because the culture was designed to extend your life in the land. And if you follow these protocols, there's liberty in them. I'm going to do a series called Liberty Within the Law. Oh, I started drafting this up like maybe 3 years ago, back in 2016. Liberty in the law. People don't understand this. They don't understand that there's liberty in the law. I have liberty in this culture that I do. It's not restrictive to me. It's only restrictive if the things that you want to do are things that are detrimental to your own personal well-being. And you want to do those things which is not designed to extend your life in the land. We have people out here getting shot and killed because they're chasing money. They're chasing women. Females chasing men. They chasing fame and fortune and Instagram likes and follows and Facebook likes and follows. This is what the people are chasing after. They say, oh, I got to try everything. Have sex with any and everybody. I got to try everything. This is the society that we live in. Get money by any means. I got to feed my family, man. So if I got to rob, this is the type of mentality we have. I'm going to eat whatever food I want to eat. This is what they want to do in our community. And this is what's pushed in the media. They entertain this. There's no liberty in that. And then they got the phrase to cap it off. YOLO, you only live once. Yeah, you live once. But after you die, what legacy you going to leave behind? In your absence to the children that you've created here on this planet. And then after you transition and you go somewhere else, all the ancient cultures say, hey, look, what you do in this life is going to reflect in the afterlife. And they didn't have the technological obstructions that we have today. They were more in tune with nature. They were more in tune with the afterworld world than we are today. We've been disconnected because we've been taken away from that culture. So having that culture gives you the liberty because you operate within the bounds of safety. The scriptures continue saying, do this so you may have long life in the land. Do this so you may have long life in the land. This is why we dying, because we don't want those safety parameters, because society has told us you don't need them. And then we wonder why we suffering all these statistics. Okay, let me stop. Let me get off this soapbox. All right, family, I got to end this off, man. All right, I got to end this off. But with that being said, family, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this session. All right, anybody out there, if you need help and we can help you in any way, email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. My motto, drop it in there, kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. Please, if you can, support our ministry. Go to our Patreon, www.patreon.com/DivineProspect. If you guys want to give, those who are fortunate enough to support other struggling families out there during this coronavirus epidemic, my mod is going to put the link also in the chat, and it's also in the description. You can support that way as well. Please share this video, hit the like button, hit subscribe if you're brand new, tell somebody about the stuff we talked about today. And at the end of the day, like I said, don't let anybody tell you guys that whatever's going around in the environment around you defines who you are. It doesn't. Your character has to be forged through the flames. That's how you come out as pure gold. Your character must be forged. It takes time. It takes mistakes and errors. It's a learning process. I didn't have nobody teach me all of this as soon as I came out the womb. I didn't have that luxury. If I did, I'd probably be a different person today. I would have made a lot of mistakes that I made. I probably would have made other mistakes, but the mistakes that I regret, you know what I'm saying, that I've accepted, I don't regret them no more. I just accept it. Like, look, I made a mistake. This is what it is, and this is where I'm at today. Where do I go from here? Scripture says that a righteous man fall down 6 times, but he gets up. and that a wicked individual falls into contempt. The objective is to avoid falling into contempt. So again, with this coronavirus situation, everything going on, you are the still voice through the chaos. You must be that still voice through the chaos. That is how you are set apart. People must come to you and say, I need help. Come to you for an answer. Come to you for a solution, a direction, advice, a suggestion. That's what you're here for. You're the representative of the patron deity that led the forefathers into the things that they did. You're the earthly representative of that. You're the power in the earth. Exercise it. Where you go, there's dominion, provided that you're keeping the stipulations of the covenant. Not this metaphysical. No. There has to be a physical sign of that covenant. And you have to balance it out. Balance it out. You have the legal aspect. You have the spiritual aspect. They must be in sync. You can't lean too much on here, lean too much of that, because you'll be off balance. And you got to be strong in this. You cannot waver. You cannot blink in the sight of danger. And it's not because you cannot be afraid. It's because the courage is, you're not the source of courage. You know, if you was put in it, it was designed to get, you was designed to get out of it. Because you carrying an entity's name on you. You carry that name. Just like when you put a suit on, you have Armani. Yeah, I'm rocking Armani. Are you rocking Yah? Are you rocking Yah? Is that how you get down? The world needs to see that. They need to know that. You're not the creator, so you're not the essence of perfection. You are an imperfect vessel living out a perfect plan. So there's going to be things along the way that needs to be learned in that process of perfection. So with that, family, I appreciate that. Continue to be that light. Draw the nations to you. They need to be looking to us during this crisis. We have to stand out. We will. And if you need advice on how to do that, holler us and we'll get you there. So thank you, family, for watching. We appreciate y'all. Patch Lara said, do you have KHM in Houston? No. We are going to set up a chapter in Houston. We had plans to do it, but so many things changed this year. I'm not sure when we'll get to Houston. If things start to pick up another couple of months, then we'll make sure we hit Houston before the end of this year, because I have several contacts in Houston. So we definitely had KHM Houston on the list. But what I would like for you to do, Patch Lara, is go back to this channel, and one of my mods can drop it in there. Thank you, Nisis, for that. I appreciate that, my brother Chris. One of my mods can drop the link to the video for the KHM chapter launch event that we did in Orlando. Please put that link in the chat before I end the session, so that way people are inquiring about what KHM is about. You can see transparency in that presentation. All right. So that way, when we get there, you can join us and we can make things happen. And I guarantee everybody here, please, I made the video public. Please click on the video, the KHM Orlando chapter launch event. KHM or Orlando chapter launch event. Please click on that. Please watch that so you can see what we are, what we're about, what is our mission, our goal. And you can see transparency, what's getting down. Yeah, O'Shea, you already know. When I touch down, you're going to be there. All right. And you'll see what we're about. And if you guys are interested in joining up and want to become a member of KHM, because I'm just, you know, the PR representative of the organization. That's all. You understand what I'm saying? But if you guys want to join up, email us, kingdomharbinger@gmail.com, put membership in the title. So when we come to your city, we'll let you know in advance. We'll send you the flyer of the location, all the details. We'll invite you out. And then, you know, after we present the information to you, if you want to join, fine. If not, it's all good. When we had our Orlando session, everybody came in. What did I give them? I don't know if anybody in Orlando's in here. I served everybody almonds and pistachios in a cup. Put it at each desk. When people came in, almonds and pistachios. They're like, what's that? They didn't even know what that was. Like, what's this? So we went into some dialogue about it. It's not in the video. We went into some dialogue about it. And I said, look, it is scriptural. It's a way that you give a gift of hospitality. And these are customs that we've lost. When you see somebody, you greet them, hey, but also customary is to give them a gift. So what did we do? We gave them, now, never mind the food that I bought to feed them just for coming out. Like if somebody just wanted to eat that day, you had free food. learn some information, met some great people, and you can leave. You don't even have to join the organization. But the objective is bringing these people together. Once they see these videos and they're inspired about the information and say, yo, we got to work towards autonomy, they come together. At least if you don't join the organization, I don't care about that. We was able to put food in your belly that day. We was able to feed you and your family. We was able to give you a gift of hospitality. We was able to bring you together with like minds that want to do work in the community and see and be the change they want to see. You can do it outside of us. I don't care. The objective is to be the catalyst for change. And as the catalyst, sometimes you may not see the results, but it's because of you interacting with the oppositional force that change will come. But some of us have to be that sacrifice. So I'm willing to do that. This is what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? So the link is there. The THM child, Shariala, he put the link there for KHM Orlando. Please, everybody, check it out. Everybody watch that so you can see what we're about. We're extremely transparent in that. When we get to your city, we're gonna do work. We went to Orlando and had a slow follow-up. Why? Because of coronavirus. I worked on onboarding some people, other people I couldn't onboard. We couldn't set up the membership dues. We couldn't set up the meeting grounds. We couldn't do none of that because of coronavirus. I was so upset. I was like, man, but you know what I said? I said, you know what? This is okay, yeah. You're giving me some time to make some changes so things can be better for the next launch and the next launch and the next launch. So you know what? I was like, cool. I accepted it. So the next launch we do, I don't even know what city it's going to be yet. It's going to be 20 times more powerful than Orlando. But the objective is once we get these point of contacts in every city, we can let this world get judged. We don't care. When you see the world getting judged, you're like, oh, okay. Business as usual. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, we need work. KHM got jobs. All right, let's go get some work. We got employment. Y'all want to get down and do some work? We got employment. You ain't got to worry about that. Matter of fact, we pay you to start working for us or with us. I'm not going to say for us. Working with us. We pay you. We give you a small deposit, $10, $20 just to get you started. Just say, hey, look, work with us. Who does that? We do that here. We pay bills. Who does that? We do that here. We have giveaways. Who does that? We do here. We raise money for people in need. Who does that? We do that here. And it's not just me. It's everybody that supports KHM. We do it as a family. Shout out to Cheryl for the donation. Thank you so much for that, sis. I appreciate that. At the end of the day, it's all hands on deck, family. All hands on deck. So we should not have a care when this place is getting judged. People should see us and say, why are you so still and settled and everything is in chaos? They need to see that. If they see us say, oh my God, look, this is happening, that's happening. What? You're not of Yah? Where's that? Where's that spirit of fear coming from? When they see you calm and you talking like you know, yeah. Oh, yeah, I know that's happening. But you know what? Yeah, we doing this and this over here. You know, oh, you need a word of encouragement? That's light work. Look, blah, blah. We should be ready, willing, and able. The same way we will give our all to a 9-to-5, we need to give that same to Yah. And regathering the lost sheep of Israel. Our people are lost. We got to wake them up. All right. So I love you, family. Let me stop talking. All right. I'm done. I just want to thank y'all sincerely for joining us, for spending your time with us, family. Like I said, we're going to plan on Genesis 1 to 18. I actually have a video on that. Let me give that to you real quick before I go. Hold on. Let me bring that video up for you real quick. All right. So I'm gonna drop it there in the chat. This is it right here, my brother. You can go ahead and click on that link right there, and we walk through Genesis, and we touch on that as well. And then also my my other lecture series that I have on the calendar is a playlist. I also get into Genesis chapter 1 to 18 on that. Well, 14 to 18 on that one. All right. So definitely check that out, my brother. Hopefully that helps you. K Israel, that's a good question. I answered that in my lecture called Does the Bible Provide Insight on the Condition of Blacks in America? Does the Bible provide insight on the condition of Blacks in America? Look that up on YouTube and watch that video. That answers that question. Thank you so much, my brother Dale H. in LA. We're going to be out there in LA. We got a lot of LA family out there. We're going to have KHM LA very soon. Thank you so much for your sacrifice, your donation, my brother. Thank you to my mods, Nisi's Pieces doing an excellent job, and my brother Chris doing an excellent job. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all for your sacrifice being here and helping out. Kendrick Black, yes, I mentioned Dante Fortson earlier. So you'll go check Dante Fortson's videos out also on YouTube. All right, family. He's one of the people who partner with us with our monthly pledges for the donations for the GoFundMe. We helped 11 families, man. 11 families. And we have 4 more pending. So whatever you guys can give can help us give to another 4 families. And, just today we gave to individual in need. You know what I'm saying? And just knowing that you have, because people sacrifice. Sometimes people said, I had a brother said, look, I don't have it like that, but I know I'm better off than some other brothers and sisters throughout this struggle. And he gave. I said, brother, listen, if you need to pay a bill, don't give me nothing. He said, no, it's okay. And he gave it. And you know what? I used that brother's $50 to feed a family of 4. They got enough groceries to last them for a whole week. Because of that brother giving his $40, I gave it to a single mother and her children. Y'all is good, man. And I don't care about if somebody has it or not. I care about the person's heart. Because where there's a will, they'll make a way. You know what I'm saying? And y'all is good, man. I ain't going to even tell y'all what's going on with me. So I got stuff going on too. But y'all only need to see the strength part, because in order for me to continue going, I have to be in a position where I can help those less fortunate than me. And I'll let y'all worry about what I got going on. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it is at the end of the day, family. And if your leaders are not talking like this about helping families in need, the fatherless, the widows, the orphans, the ones who are poor and oppressed, that's Torah. You got to support. You got to help them. You can't turn your back on them. If some of y'all follow the New Testament, it says the same thing. Show me your faith alone. I'll show you my faith by my works. When brother's hungry, you don't say, peace be filled. No, you give him something to fill his belly. That's the culture. You can't get around that. And if you're not following that, then you wasting your time here. What you doing here doing that? You wasting your time. You feel me? So, like I said, with that being said, family, I'm gonna say it again. I'm done. I appreciate y'all. It might be, depends on what your question is. Jen and Jew's 7-day theory. If not, email me, kingdomharbor@gmail.com, and we can work through the email. All right. All right, family. I love y'all, man. Peace and shalom, man. Until I see y'all again, family. Much love.